So one thing that's weird is we're recording these always now like a week behind, so like all of our information will be like 1 week late.
Yeah, the way it used to be.
I think so.
Yeah.
So might as well just get this week late news out of the way first and foremost because people want to hear it. But do you have any PulseCon thoughts, feelings, Christopher?
Yeah, so I was disappointed by the Transformers reveals.
That's right, because you're like in the game.
Hey,
It's funny. We know someone who actually look at chugs and
I've
shit.
got Chugs and Detox.
Dude, it's our chug specialist on the podcast.
What do you got going on?
I was expecting more G1-ish stuff, and a lot of it to me. And look, part of me is like, oh, great. I don't have any interest in any of this, right?
Not even the Tarn?
I did order the.
I say the
saw
Tarn's
that.
pretty cool.
The Tarn's
the
pretty
Tarn.
cool. I mean, it's so out of context. I'm like, I gotta check this out.
Look at
man.
MMC Tarn,
But like,
though.
I mean, they're making like, I don't remember what they call their Legend scale stuff, but really lousy
You mean Legends?
Dinobots.
Yeah.
Can we
They're
call it
awful.
Legend scale because it's Legends?
It's like
It's core class.
Core
they
class.
changed
Oh,
the
they-
name of it to core class.
they're awful.
I mean, they're like
And they combine.
into Volcanicus, and they sold that like it was a big deal. G.I. Joe stuff, obviously. Did you get a Serpentor
No, I don't think so.
Wait, so Legends Combiner, that's a new thing for Hasbro.
For Hasbro, it was the first time they've done that combiner.
But like, I'm not like. This isn't going to be the only Serpentor.
It's not. No, and that's what I keep telling everybody that
like
was super
I'm not
butthurt
worried
about
about it.
Like, and honestly, you're not going to display the Chariot anyways, right?
No.
Yeah, you would probably ask me if I wanted a second Chariot and be like, I'm going to take a second bike or something, but I don't want. But
I mean, I still had the Mindbender pre-ordered. Like it actually, it wasn't until recently I was just like, man, shit, do I still have that?
I had to check too.
Yeah.
Because the way they rolled that out, I remember, shout out to Caleb, our one of our West Coast players here, because he,
the West Coast plug.
right. So he was at San Diego and there was some QR code at something.
Yeah.
And then like the next day they dropped it on Pulse and I was able to get one that way. But I had to do the same. I went back and checked. I'm like, first of all, I was going through my Pulse orders and thinking, what the fuck is wrong with me? And then I saw that, oh, well, I do have that. And it's still not shipped. That's weird.
Why wouldn't they just open Serpentor up for the mass market?
Well, what they should do in some, like, I'll give you an example. So Mezco did a thing this weekend and they had an exclusive figure and it sold out. And then they immediately opened a pre-order so you can get it later. Why not do that, Hasbro?
Yeah.
Why not? It's like, hey, if you're a Pulse member,
Maybe they're trying to gauge, how much people want it.
I guess it just seems like you could gauge exactly how many people want if you just put it up for pre-order.
right. But I think the whole, like, they want people to have the exclusive, but then who knows when it's coming? Like the Mindbender thing.
Right.
Who knows? Who knows? When
I mean,
it'll
I'm
come.
assuming, is the Mezco like regular release the same as the exclusive release? I'm assuming there's something different, right?
Well, so no, it'll be the exact same thing. It'll just,
that's
you
dumb.
get it like
Yeah.
mine shipped today.
Like if
and
it's not even an extra accessory?
Well, no.
Or the exclusive? No, a different paint?
No,
color?
it's you get it now, and I think the pre-order is probably a year out.
Yeah,
who
time.
cares?
Paying for time.
Oh, time.
Yeah, that's what it is. I thought
time.
the Indiana Jones stuff is disappointing from an articulation standpoint, but I don't know what crazy things people are going to be doing.
Yeah, I'm getting an indie and that's it.
Yeah, and
What's the line? Tell me as a layman who doesn't know about a shit.
So I'm not good with Indiana Jones because I'm not a huge Indiana Jones fan.
I mean, me either, but you can tell me that
the guy
there's one
who's-
episode where this happens.
the guy whose face melts.
Oh, yeah.
they have
great.
him.
Yeah, I
Indiana
know.
Jones,
Indiana Jones,
the girl,
Okay, from that one.
the
I don't
girl.
know. Yeah.
and then
the priest guy.
the priest guy.
He's got a pretty cool outfit on.
Yeah, but isn't he from
modern-
Temple of Doom?
I don't know. How
No,
Wait,
he's
the-
not. It's
the
a different.
priest
the
guy isn't like
the
the-
priest guy's from Raiders.
Like a Catholic priest or
Yes,
like a
like
shaman
Catholic-
priest?
like
like the
Catholic priest.
No, it's the shaman.
Is
priest.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't looked
like
at it.
the
shaman priest is
the
Temple of Doom.
heart-ripping, yeah.
Yeah,
guy.
And then
I
there's
thought they were all Raiders.
there's a build an arc. It's a build an arc set. So
Dumb.
I mean,
dumb.
It makes sense.
if you buy all of them, you
Nah,
get
you
to
should
build
be
the
like
arc.
the
big-
arc as a build a figure.
No, the big street guy.
It's not big enough. We're not talking about like
No, the arc ain't big enough either.
I was trying to just pull it up real quick. Power Rangers. I don't have a dog in that fight, but what they did put out looks good.
Yeah,
they all look the same.
dude. Let me tell you what. This is going to be redundant to people that watched Sit Down Saturday last week, but let me tell you what I'm most excited about from the reveals. As you know, Joe, I'm missing very few Marvel Legends X-Men.
Yes.
But one of them that I am missing is Banshee. Mm-hmm. And I always figured I would have to settle for a green and yellow Banshee. Like I just
I
figured
mean, that's the classic Banshee.
That's the classic Banshee.
Which Banshee do you want?
The blue and yellow, because I was a 90s X-Men fan. So I was like, but I just chalked it up in my head like, it's cool. I'm good with green and yellow. I'm good with it. They announced a Banshee and it's blue and yellow.
Is it just a repaint or is it a completely different figure?
So it's
I'm not.
So Hasbro's yet to make a Banshee.
Oh, at all?
Yeah, only Toy
That's
Biz
wild.
has that old trash Banshee.
Yeah, because like in my head, I can only think of the green and yellow Banshee off the top of my head. I can't imagine what the blue and yellow outfit looked like.
Let me,
So I'm just wondering if it's just a repaint.
While you're looking that up,
It is. It basically is.
Hopping back to G.I. Joe for a sec.
But his daughter is the one that matters because she's hot.
Yeah.
Siren? I
I
have her.
think Deadpool banged her at one point.
I believe it.
Fair. G.I. Joe, so and everybody, you knew it was coming. I call it pre-paints.
Oh, is this?
So when, like they do the Tiger Force version of Bazooka, well, you obviously know they're going to do the standard version.
Right.
So that's like they're doing the standard Bazooka. They're doing the standard Outback.
Right.
And there's a couple others
Shipwreck.
like that.
Well, no, not that. The same.
Yeah,
bad,
the Shipwreck's coming, that's probably my favorite G.I. Joe. So
Nice.
that's awesome.
It looks great.
The Red Bat, which I'm not crazy about repaints, but if you put it, you're going to put it with your Crimson Guard. I think it'll look. I ordered some of those. I ordered 4 of them. But like,
Of course. Come on.
but
you know him.
I think I'm like the Tiger Force stuff, and they're doing the Slaughters Marauders repaints now. Like, I don't need a blue barbecue figure. I just don't need.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm gonna avoid the pre-paints going forward. Like the Tiger Force Bazooka. I don't need that because I'm getting the one I want.
Yeah.
There's no need.
So I'll be honest with you. Like, I want a Serpentor. Like, and if I find one readily available that I can buy at what do they call it? Retail. I'll buy it.
In the wild, I think they call it.
But I'll be honest with you. If I never get a Serpentor, I'm also okay with that.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised by that.
Yeah, I know, because he is like an instrumental character, right? Like, it's a huge,
This I command.
this I command. But like, to me, I was only really into G.I. Joe until the movie.
Oh.
So like, Serpentor was like only in it for a bit. Like, Cobra Commander was always my Cobra leader in my mind. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Of course.
So like,
he's Cobra Commander.
yeah. So like, I'm in for a Serpentor, but like, if you were like gun to my head and I can get a Serpentor or I can get a Nemesis, what is his name?
Nemesis Enforcer.
Nemesis Enforcer. I'm taking Nemesis Enforcer.
Makes sense.
Bat wings for the fucking
I was just
win.
flipping through here. Anything
and Batman.
else. Shocking, Joe.
Yeah.
There's a X-Men wave,
Of course.
and it's got a Wolverine in it.
Oh, surprise. Which kind of Wolverine?
So blue and yellow to match the Banshee. So they're doing that whole cover.
They're going to have
Yeah.
Forge? Oh.
They're gonna
His
have
outfit.
him.
That looks really good. The long shot.
Yeah, the long shot. I got him too.
Yeah.
So
Isn't that one of the
then there's this
Capcom
chick.
guys?
Yep, it is. There's this chick,
Spyro. I do like her.
the 8-arm chick.
what's cool about
Marvel's
that
Capcom.
is like they've really taught me to play the long game recently. So,
I mean, it's been a long game.
but listen, they put out that long shot. I have the Toy Biz long shot. It desperately needs an update.
I mean, 30
They-
years.
They put out that long shot in a box set with a mojo that I don't think looks as good as the Toy Biz to date. And because that Toy Biz one was just painted to the nines, sculpted to the nines. This one is kind of more animated looking, more cartoony.
Yeah.
So it was a mojo, long shot, and Dazzler.
Okay.
I already had the Dazzler. I didn't want the mojo. And it was like an $80, $90 set. And I was like, man, I'm not buying this shit just for a long shot. I'm not spending $90 on a long shot. And then now here comes long shot by himself.
Eventually, they're going to have to make shit because they have to keep making shit, right?
I did spend double retail on a morph recently.
Why? On a morph.
Yeah.
Episode 1 of X-Men.
Yeah. eBay.
Yes.
Yeah. eBay. He was a fucking Pulse exclusive and he sold out. And I was like,
I don't even remember him in the comic books. Is he in the comic book?
no, I just want to
He
the
was-
cartoon.
yeah, okay.
I mean, actually, he was in the comic books because I remember like you would come across that one nerd that would be like, "Oh, you're actually in Uncanny X-Men 219 panel 6," but never in any. And back then, anyway, never in any real meaningful way.
Yeah.
But like, I just wanted him. So like, I had space for him. I wanted him, and
You get the money.
yeah.
The other guy that goes is the other guy that goes with the Mojo people is Spyro, Mojo, Dazzler, long shot, and it wasn't there somebody else that goes with it.
Is it multiple man? Maybe
Like a dude, like a villain.
I mean, I just remember that arc, the story arc.
Yeah, it was only 2 books, and it was the blue team went to Mojo Land to get Dazzler, I think. Longshot came and got them to go get Dazzler.
Did she have a shift at the roller rink?
But I want to say that Mojo had another dude in command.
Wasn't there a guy with like a sword? There's 2 swords. Or is that something else?
It's Darth Maul.
I don't know.
I mean, like no, like not that, not a smart
Strife.
way.
Is Strife?
That wasn't in
It
that.
was like
Okay, well,
it
they're
was
making
like,
a Strife figure.
It's a sword next to a sword on one
Yeah,
hand.
that's
and he
Strife.
had-
Shatterstar.
Shatterstar.
Shatterstar?
Is that
Yeah.
that part of that crew or no?
No.
I don't know why I rolled him in.
He has that star in his
yeah.
eye, maybe.
Yeah. This splooge.
But they have an avalanche coming, which is one of the X-Men villains I'm missing.
That's a deep cut.
Yeah.
I mean, they have to mix everything eventually.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was really... Actually, Marvel Legends took it for me, like, in terms of my excitement. Marvel Legends, then Classified, then everything else.
What did you think about the Star Wars reveals?
Awful.
You didn't like any of them?
No, I like Mon Mothma.
That's a nice-looking figure.
And I like...
It's not awful with this. One good thing in it.
Yeah. Well, but like, even that, like...
Most of it's just repayment. Most of it's retools or
Even that, it's Mothma from Andor, which would be my 3rd choice. I would
Yeah.
prefer Mothma from 6, then Mothma from 3.
Well,
and then
but
this
it's like
Mothma.
they've got the pulse right
head
now.
sculpt, then they'll get
Oh, Andor.
They'll get 3 at least.
Yeah.
Like, because that's what's hot right now.
Right.
Makes sense.
No,
They actually have the finger on the pulse.
Yeah, except
So
it's going
to
to come
speak.
out next year.
Oh, well, they're announcing it when it matters.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it pre-ordered though? These stuff pre-ordered?
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much
I love it.
everything we
Except that Banshee.
everything we mentioned is up.
Is it
pre-order
easy
almost.
to pre-order from Hasbro? I guess. Okay. I was gonna say if it's hard, then it makes sense for them to like lock people in. By the time they're not interested anymore, they're still locked in.
Yeah. And then they show the Goblin Queen is now coming with the car. So now you got me up. Now you got me up.
At 10,000. So you in on that one too?
Yeah. You got me up to $100.
Okay, then I'm down. Then I'll definitely order it then.
Yeah.
If it gets there, I guess I'm gonna wait and see if
And then
those
if you get
figures hit.
Blackheart, you got me for $150.
Okay,
Is
let's just wait
is
and
it
see.
funded now?
No, it looks awful.
But what they
I
did,
mean, not that it looks great. The trajectory looks
so listen,
awful.
it's 9,000 to fund. It was 12,000 to get Mephisto, and then they dropped another one in between there. Now it's at 10,000 that you get
Goblin Queen.
Goblin Queen.
Goblin Queen's at the.
So they added another. They dropped a tier in.
I'm trying to think
help
of the
generate-
character. Is that like the Jean Grey clone?
It's Madeline Pryor, right? Or I get them confused.
She looks like a outfit of the White Queen, except in black, but she's like Jean Grey's.
No,
like, clone.
that's the other one. That's the Black Queen.
Okay.
The Goblin Queen is like super slutty. Like it has like her shirt like comes down like this. They didn't do that, which a lot of people
Yeah.
are upset about. They like kind of PG-13'd her out.
Makes sense.
But then she's just like in a pair of underwear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
So
then
there's
she has,
two
like,
characters that are very similar.
They're very
Okay.
similar. Very, very similar.
So it's actually dropped. So I'm looking at an official Brian Brink chart from
I'd love
Monday.
to see it.
It was at 54.22, and since they made that announcement, it's at 53.08. So it's losing ground.
it's
don't-
because the PG-13 that bitch. If they were to like slut it up, it probably
Well, let's talk about this for a minute. Do you think people are canceling their orders because they don't like the stretch goals, or is it there's been so many other companies with their hands out, including Hasbro themselves, that they're like, I can't afford that.
I think
I'm on the
it's-
fence about it.
I think it's that it's not a linchpin character. Mm-hmm. It's a high price.
Yep.
People are very interested in the bonuses. Like people love that Mephisto, and people would love a Goblin Queen,
Right.
But then they didn't give her the fucking
Underboob.
like the under, like you know what I mean, the slut suit. You know,
Yeah.
they gave her like a slut suit.
Love it. Love to hear it. Love to see it.
You know, they gave her like this like. It's still slutty, but it's not slutty enough. You know, like
Yeah, it's just like moderately slutty.
Yeah.
It's
I like my
Halloween
toys
slutty.
slutty.
We need more than Halloween slutty.
Exactly. It's like Halloween slutty, but like dad's still watching.
Oh yeah, he is.
You know, but
I think it's the time of year too. Like, dude, a lot of things are pulling at people's wallets this time of year, starting now.
Yep.
Not just the holiday season's coming up, which it is.
Right.
You know, you got Halloween. You got a lot of video games are dropping, and they call it Brooktober because a lot of games like Overwatch 2 just dropped. There's a bunch of shit that's dropping.
gas prices.
Gas prices. Yep.
They're crazy though.
So it's not It's a timing issue, it's a price point issue, and there's like priorities issues.
Yeah, and I think had they put Mephisto, Blackheart, Goblin Queen, and the Ghost Rider all with it, and then had stretch goals after that, I think you would have seen this thing go.
Yeah, but then they would make a lot less money on their part, right? Because they can't throw in too much shit while keeping their profit margin.
But see, the question is though, because I was looking at, because like I looked at like the Galactus, right, and the Galactus was a 3D print, like the one that they rolled out. You had to look close, but it was a 3D print. So I was like, okay, well, this one's really up for grabs. But like some of this shit, like the Mephisto, doesn't look like a print to me.
It looks like a mold.
So it looks like a mold.
I don't know. I saw it on, they showed it on the reveals. I think it could be just a high-end resin print that's painted.
It could be. But
they've got them. So they've got all those figures.
But that Galactus is a high-end, and you can tell. Like if you just get in close enough, you can tell. But it's like, so I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it goes. Like I wonder, some of this shit that they've done. I'm starting to wonder how much they've already like figured it was going to be successful and just had it ready to rock and roll. My Galactus should be shipping any minute.
Yeah, I didn't know they were shipping.
Yeah. Robert was fucking with me about it last night, and he was like, take a picture for me as soon as you actually film it when you go to put it where you plan on putting it, because he knows it's too tall for where I plan on putting it. So I was just reeling him in, and I was like, I will. When as soon as I put it there, I will film it. And he's like, no, like immediately. And I was like, well, no, as soon as I'm ready to put it there, I'll put it there, because I'm building a throne for it, and I'm gonna be able to sit in it. But
Perfect.
Yeah, whatever. That motherfucker. I'll tell you some other bullshit. You want to hear some other bullshit? Yes. Okay, so I come home from work, right? I'm hanging out. I'm usually a little bit of a lounge lizard, Joe. When I get home from work, I like to have a coffee, like lay on the floor, maybe like sit in a chair or a recliner or something like that. Laura says, "Hey, I have a favor to ask of you today, with no questions asked." And I said, "Okay," because I'm down, right? And I owe her anyway. I owe her a lot.
Yeah.
And I said, "What's it about?" She said, "I can't tell you right now." I said, "Okay." And then she said, "It involves a camera." And I was like, "Tell Robert he can go fuck himself." He wanted her to scan in my face so that he could put on these fucking figures. Like as soon as I said it, she's like, "How could you tell?" Just from that, I was like, "You think I was like, all you motherfuckers think I'm dumb? Like I'm stupid. I'm not dumb."
I did that 4 or 5 times, and it never they all kind of look the same. And nobody at the same time.
Yeah.
It's
perfect.
Selfie series.
No need faces.
No need faces.
Prophet of the faceless.
So
flesh that out.
Chris, you got your coffee first. Joe, how was your nerd week?
Well, not many people who listens know this guy, but I just want to give him a shout. Well, not even a shout out. A rest in peace to Kim Jong-gi.
Oh, the artist.
Oh, you know him. Okay, I'm not surprised because you're into drawing. Like if you're into drawing at all, if you ever looked for any inspiration or someone who's good at it, is this guy was fucking phenomenal.
Amazing.
And he's artistic. Like he can draw anything. Like offhand, you know how we have to sketch out little shapes and then fill it in or whatever. He just draw the most fucking detailed thing in the world, starting with one line and then spreading out the whole fucking wall.
He'll start with your fingernail and work his way back.
And more detail than is high def, more detail in real life. And he was like, "Oh yeah, it's just a visual library. I see things and I memorize them." That was basically his thing. But he randomly died at 47. He was
sucks.
He was about to head to New York or something, and just
they say I read this article. It was like a medical article. It was talking about men's health and shit, and it was like 45 to 55 is like when you got to be on your shit.
Yeah,
like you got to be making your doctor's appointments, be getting your blood checked, all that kind of shit. 45 to 55. With men, once you get past 55. You're usually all right, but it's that danger zone. Yeah.
Well, I get
stress you out.
Well, no, you're fine because I have an appointment for the butt hose or camera, whatever they do to your butthole.
Dude, stream it for Patreon.
Let's do it. Gonna have Pinkerton's colonoscopy this Thursday.
Dude, we're all gonna reach that age. We'll just call it the human party favor, and we'll episode 1.
There we go.
I'll be shortly after you.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rest in peace to that guy. We
for
lost a fucking talent. We really fucking did.
For sure.
See, so speaking of pre-orders and buying, Skull Knight just
I like the sound of it.
Ask me for payment for shipment. So I'm sure it's gonna be shipping soon. It's the quarter scale Skull Knight from Berserk, which will go with my Berserk
crouching guy
figure.
Nice.
Just not sure
Where it's going.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to shuffle some shit. Because I ordered some. I ordered
Shuffle or shovel?
I know I wanted. I did both.
Okay, fair.
But like I didn't order because he has a horse too, whole armored horse. I did not get that version because that would be the fucking size,
right?
Quarter scale horse, bruh.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Quarter scale knight on a quarter scale horse. So I didn't get the horse. I got him on the standing version, but it's still going to be a logistics problem. But I'm looking forward to it because he's been pre-ordered for like two plus years or some shit. I tried to watch The Munsters.
I heard
it's awful.
I heard it was awful.
10 minutes.
It's funny, like,
And you know, I have high tolerance for awful things.
I know you do.
Yeah, we know you're an anime
I know
fan.
you do. And just called it. Just was like, this is going to be awful. He said it on Nerve Rage. And I was like, no, man, it looks like it's fun. It's in the right spirit. When I did the 4 dummies on Nerve Rage.
Yeah.
Like, and he called it. He's like, there's no way that this could be good. Look at
Well,
it.
it's Rob Zombie.
But he's done good things.
He's done
right?
good
That's
he's done
what
great
I'm
things.
saying.
Yeah,
That's why I would
So I'm
think.
surprised. I wouldn't have known it was.
Yeah.
I mean, the colors and some of these.
Which
visuals are
streaming
cool.
platform is that on?
Netflix.
I canceled
Bobby
that
doesn't have to
one.
worry about
Yeah,
it.
I canceled
He
that.
doesn't worry about it.
Gotcha.
But yeah, like the colors were cool and stuff, and then I think partly for the problem is because I never watched The Munsters. And I think this is Krista was like, "This is a prequel." I was like, "Oh," because she knows a little bit about it, and she has even higher tolerance for shitty things than I do. And she was done with the movie after 10-15 minutes.
Wow.
And then we directly went to watch Hocus Pocus 2 instead.
How was that?
I enjoyed. I surprisingly enjoyed the fuck out of it. I thought it
Nice.
was a well done, nostalgia driven sequel from 30 years ago.
Can I tell
It's
you
funny that
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I just saw a meme that was like, Hocus Pocus 2 dropped today. Never have so many 30 to 40-year-old white women rushed home in such a hurry.
That's right.
And it is their thing. It is their thing.
I mean, it is the entire show is pumpkin spice flavor. But can I say this bold statement that I think that role, the old one and the current one, is the best that Sarah that she's ever looked?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
yeah.
the goth
I think
girl?
it's because there's so much makeup
It's the
on
goth
too.
girl.
But I found her to be pretty hot, even at what is she in her 50s now or something? I don't
I mean,
know.
she's long in the tooth for sure.
But like,
Speaking of which, I just saw they're filming the second season of the second version of Sex in the City.
And just like that. And guess what? I heard Samantha's in it.
No shit. Wow.
I wonder how much money they had to pay that bitch to come back.
Give me that money.
She
Did they
hates those, but she hates
explain
those other
her
girls.
away in the first 3, or they just ignore her existence?
No, they say that like
Was she on a
moved,
trip or-
yeah, no,
oh.
she moved to Paris or something like potty.
yeah, I mean, money. Yeah, people can work together. I mean, I feel like we've all, at least at one point in our lives, have worked with coworkers we really can't stand,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah, I mean, dude, I've had some supervisors in my life that like,
And we get paid a lot less than actors.
Talk about
Yeah.
stealing boxes.
Because like the Mythbusters, like we find out they hated each other.
yeah, that hurt.
Yeah, 'Cause,
That
like,
hurt.
I mean,
Well,
you
Adam-
couldn't tell. You couldn't fucking tell.
The thing that Adam actually worked for Jamie. That's why they
Yeah.
had such a weird dynamic anyways. Because Jamie owned the shop that they worked at, and Adam worked for Jamie.
Yeah.
Because he's talked about it a lot since then.
Yeah, but it's just a weird thing, but also not weird because if you think about it, it's coworkers.
Yeah.
I mean, we are acting at work. If you work with someone you fucking can't stand, you're acting like you can't stand them.
And the other
All
thing
day,
is,
every day.
like, we're all good friends, but if we spent like 12 hours a day for 5 days a week, we probably wouldn't like each other as much.
Yeah, yeah. I
know?
mean, especially
I'd
when
be
like,
fine. I'm in the corner by myself anyway.
well, especially when when you have to depend on your team for success.
yes,
you know, because then you start looking at people different. You know,
Yep.
like you start looking like, man, there's people that I know that I love that I think are great people that like I love to kick it with and hang out with, but they also are not capable of doing the job I need them to do in a specific
Yeah.
circumstance.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's what I try to tell my my front end guy at work. We got rid of a guy, well, not recently now, almost a year ago. But like he was shitty. I fucking couldn't stand working with him. But the front end guy was like, but yeah, he's a cool person. He's fine. I'm like, that doesn't fucking matter. I don't care how cool you are at work.
So there's a conversation there though. There is a conversation because to me there is a balance. Like I call it the break room table. Like there's to me the coworker, the break room table presence matters.
It does, but like, if their work is shit.
But that's what I'm saying.
There's a graph like the hot to crazy chart for a chick.
Where's Brian Brink?
At a certain point, I don't care how great your performance is if you're a fucking terror to be around.
I completely agree.
And also vice versa.
Yeah. There's a balance, like you said.
Exactly.
It's razor thin.
At work, I prefer to be on the side of to work with someone who does a job,
right,
more than someone who's cool,
right,
on that line.
So I think I'm on the other side of it. Like I said, I'm
not straining by far,
but I'll take a moderate performance if I can be around you all day. And, and get along with.
Yeah, I don't listen. Being a superstar, normally a person that's a superstar isn't going to have a great personality, anyways, because they're so focused on the job. But hey, you get your shit done, and I can talk to you about nonsense, and we can have a good time. Yeah, I think that's a fair balance.
Yeah. But like the cool person you can hang out with for a long time ends up like grading though. Like I am not wanting to hang out with him because I'm looking at him not getting the fucking shit done. Like and then like I don't want to be with him as much anymore over the long time.
We have like a lot of different like the conversations throughout the day. Like we'll have like you know how like your store, you know, and then there's other stores that might, let's say you're like in a chain and there's other stores in your chain and you know there's this location and that location and we'll play games like so of all the other stores in the chain that we know of, from each one, if you could punch one person in the face, who would it be?
We do that shit. Especially because I go to different locations all the time.
So you got the gossip, right? You'll never believe what these motherfuckers did.
It's funny how much gossip, because like I'm not a gossiper, so I don't really spill the beans much, but I hear everything.
Yeah.
And people know I don't say anything, and I think they don't realize I'm listening all the time.
Yeah.
Because I'm in the corner doing my work. I'm just like minding my business. They think I'm just
people
focusing.
I don't think people, I'll be honest, like take it as you want, but like I don't think people view Asian people that way. It's like I got to worry about what they're going to go run and tell somebody.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I don't, but like I hear everything.
So like
I fucking hear, like even when even in one place of job, when one person calls out wasn't there, they talk about them, and then the other person call out, and this other person come back, they all talk about them. I'm just like, bro,
what did we do? We had one recently that was a good one. Damn, I can't.
Everyone has something to say about it.
We play a lot of those games. Like
it's just funny because like you think, like, man, what the fuck people motherfuckers think behind my back?
yeah,
exactly.
But Hocus Pocus 2, I enjoyed. I mean, it's a kid show movie. So like, especially if you have kids or if you like the first movie at all, I wasn't expecting much, but I was smiling. I found myself smiling for a majority of it.
That's cool.
I'm just glad that Kathy and Jamie got some work because I don't know if she's really done anything since the one that's not Bette Midler and the one that's not Horseface.
Oh yes, the other one.
Yeah, the
third one. Yeah.
Kathy and Jamie's her name.
I didn't know.
Say her name.
Say it, Joe. Say her name.
But yes.
That's it?
And no.
Oh, okay.
And then we end up watching Day Shift, which is incredibly
that is
fun.
So much fun. That's the one Jamie Foxx, right?
Yeah, it's the one Jamie Foxx.
Where is that on?
I believe it's on Netflix, Bob.
This one, like, really...
I'm not familiar.
Snoop Dogg's in it too, right?
Yes.
He's ridiculous.
He's ridiculous.
And he's a cowboy.
The red N?
Yeah. That's it.
I canceled that. I canceled. I had that.
I gotcha.
Most people have had it nowadays. Maybe you hear of it again in the future.
More and more people are losing it every day, Joe, according to their stats. So I don't know.
They have a gaming division now and everything.
That's true.
Yep.
But yeah, that's really fun, and I like the way they did the vampire and stuff. I feel like they could have developed the villain a little bit more because I think that they put a lot of there was a lot of more depth that could have been gone into. Like the way they set her up, I'm just like, oh yeah, that's interesting. But like it kind of fell flat.
Yeah, I know I can see exactly.
Like they could have done so much more, and I feel like it kind of rushed to an ending.
A 10-minute beat to give some more backstory to her.
Yeah, because she was interesting and her role was interesting, but they never explored it.
Instead of talking about Snoop Dogg's pickup truck or whatever.
Yeah, but like I mean, spoiler, she's not gonna make it to the sequel if there's one.
That's right.
But yeah, I always like different types of vampires and modern take on vampires nowadays.
I was just talking to somebody. Talked to me about the Vampire Masquerade. Have you ever heard of this?
Vampire the Masquerade, the RPG.
Yes.
Yeah, it's from the 90s. It's very popular and
So,
well known.
I mean, very popular, but no, that's a joke. But like, they were telling me about it. I looked it up, and like they have all the different types of vampires, and like the different houses and everything that they come from. There's like the Nosferatu kind. There's like the I thought that was cool.
And there's some of that in Day Shift.
Yep.
But yeah, and I finished Sandman. I loved it.
Nice.
Loved all of it. Like the last episode is kind of like two short stories that just takes place in the world, and I love that too. I guess is to get people stay interested for season 2. I would love a season 2. I'm okay with it ending where it ended because it completes the story arc. It left things that can be explored further in the future, but doesn't have to be. But I thought it was really fucking well done and a good
That's awesome.
fucking story. I recommend you watch it. While
Yeah,
you have,
I want to watch it. I do want to watch it.
like, since you're not going to read the book.
I want to do that too.
Yeah, put it in line.
Right behind Coruscant Nights.
That's right.
I can imagine watching the series again at some point.
Nice.
And usually I don't rewatch shit.
Yeah.
But that's it for just the nerd shit.
Okay.
So
Oh, sorry. One more thing.
Okay.
Is it true that Warner Brothers deleted some content from people's purchased libraries?
I don't know.
I saw an
hadn't
article on
heard
that. I think it was one movie or something.
I don't know,
that-
but that's the type of shit I believe.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's why you're into discs,
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm into physical
media.
media.
And whereas to me, it's physical if I have it personally downloaded, not relying on stream, like pirating, basically.
Right.
It doesn't justify piracy. Piracy is not right, regardless of how much I.
It's not a victimless crime, Joe.
No, regardless of how much I fucking promote piracy, I know it's not a fucking good thing.
I promote privacy.
what
Do
about
you, though?
what about
We're
privacy
talking about like
piracy?
broadcasting Pinkerton's colonoscopy.
Yeah, it was his choice.
Is it? I thought it was in my contract.
But so yeah, if you pirate some shit and you download it on your external hard drive, then you have it permanently. They can't delete it off of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it then.
All right. Most of what I have, we probably have crossover, Bobby. So
Okay.
I'll do what isn't first.
Oh, okay. All right.
I sent you guys a picture. We built that new space in the back of our basement, and
built
It looks fucking great.
Well-
it looks so professional.
it had just become a pile, and
Yeah,
it
it looks
drove
like-
me nuts. So
It looks like necessity being the mother of all invention.
it basically so we went to Home Depot and bought some quote unquote garage metal rack shelving with the wooden inserts, and yeah, it's going to be a game changer. We bought more of them. We're doing that entire space down there in those.
Nice.
Because you can build them as halves as well, and
Yep,
have
yep, yep.
knots as
Yep.
well. You can build them like
like
so we're going to do that. I like by the window there, so we can still use the stuff, and it's just going to be a lot more organized, I think, going forward. So
That's awesome.
yeah, it was a little bit of investment, but you got to do that, right?
Yeah.
There's a new gun store opening up. It's called T-Rex. They're a small arms dealer.
I saw that coming.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah, sorry, snuck it in. So I've talked. I watched this movie kind of on accident, but kind of on purpose. It showed up on my YouTube. They have free movies on YouTube.
Yes,
And since I'm
with ads.
I'm
Sometimes.
well, not for the peasant, only for the peasants, I guess.
Well, it's not for free for you then. Is
This movie is called Star Crash. Okay, it's at 1978.
Star Crash. Oh,
It's a science fiction movie.
Cruiser.
And like, it is so bad that Kelly thought it was like something made in the 90s as a joke, but it wasn't. It was made in 1978. There's some debate whether or not it was a complete ripoff of Star Wars, although the writer-director said they were working on this long before Star Wars was
He's like,
thing.
Star Wars? No, I never heard of it.
It is probably one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life, but it was so bad I had to finish it. I mean, the special effects are...
I like the monsters.
Yeah, the special effects are awful. It's got David Hasselhoff in it.
What?
But he
And it
doesn't
didn't-
show up till like halfway through the movie.
And it didn't do well?
Like the lead actor has superpowers, but he doesn't tell anybody. But then he has superpowers, and then he dies. And when he dies, he just disappears.
Wow.
There's a robot. There's a C-3PO style,
Good.
but he talks like this for some reason.
What if?
And the guy doesn't
What
eat-
if R2 got a translator?
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about Southern
I
robots.
mean, and there's a girl, a very attractive girl in it, and of course she's wearing like a Barbarella type, leather bikini and boots, and they go to this. They're on like 115 planets during
back in the
this.
bloody good old days, Joe.
And like at one point, she's wearing a spacesuit, which is basically just like a clear rain suit with like this crotch piece over it. It's batshit crazy. There's Amazon women.
amazing.
I mean, it is. Me and Mason walked in. We were watching it, and they had done. Initially, it looks like they had done a good job on like the ship models because it's very much whooshing through space and stuff. And then a planet will blow up, and then you just like see the parts falling
down with gravity.
Like, come on now. At one point, Mason's like, "Wait a minute, go back. What is that?" Oh, they literally just got a model kit and glued the entire runner onto that piece of foam and painted it gray.
Oh my God.
Like, that's not a bad idea if you need to do something at a pinch.
yeah.
I've talked about this place before. It's a store in Westminster called Attorney of Dreams.
Yes.
I happened to be in Westminster yesterday. I went by there. And they've actually taken over that whole mall. Not quite. They have 3 spots in the mall now.
I mean,
They've got
there's a lot of empty spots in malls nowadays.
Right. They've got their main store. They've got like a die-cast, basically it's Hot Wheels and whatnot, just that, and then there's like a sci-fi place. Those 2 places are only open like, I don't know, Tuesdays from 4 to 5, or it's some crazy shift
It's
schedule.
weird because I worked in the mall for a bit and
I did as
in
well.
the early 2000s. But like, I mean, that was when malls were the thing.
Was it a big deal if you closed or
Exactly.
like you
There
got
was a lot
fined
of
and shit?
rules.
Responsibility.
Yeah, I think they had to give up a lot of that.
Yeah, because like no one cares about malls anymore.
Yeah.
Where malls was like the definitive fucking place you want to be back in the day.
So we need to take a trip up there. This is the place I took.
down.
I took everybody after
We're gonna
Skullfest.
stop record. We're gonna right
Yeah,
now
we're gonna go there right now.
and have
So-
Waffle House.
So I'm walking the aisles and I'm noticing there's like an entire, and this place is literally organized like a toy. There's like, this is a 4-foot section of Star Trek: The Next Generation stuff, and there's like, I don't know if you're missing any 3 3/4 Star Wars, but
I'm sure I am.
I would guess they had it there. So I see there's like an entire end cap of Angel. Remember Angel, the Buffy spinoff?
Yeah.
Of like that stuff, and it's like, what is this? Because it's like the full run. And then I turn the corner, and there's there's like 8 feet of Buffy the Vampire Slayer in just like mint condition. Like, what is going on here?
I thought that was a popular, very, very popular franchise where things
Buffy
were being
is.
sold out. Yeah.
So then there's like 6 feet or 4 feet of just Lost stuff. There's a bunch of Walking Dead. So I see the Lost stuff, and there's a girl working there. I think she's somehow related to the people on it. And I said, did one person bring in this Buffy stuff? Because it was like mint condition, like graded, like you'd send this stuff to get graded. And she's like, yeah, one person brought in this entire aisle. Simpsons. Look at this. All carded, all mint.
They just
The Promised
I
Land.
took a video of
I
just
want
the
to see
Simpsons.
what their house looked like before they brought this in.
The only thing I can think,
Because it doesn't look like it's been like thrown in the box.
No,
Look how
no.
many there are.
yes, and
This looks like it was just like
there's
merchandised.
there's multiples. I found some weird stuff. Like I found a Smithers figure on a trilingual card that did not have English, and it also had a Bandai logo.
You buy it?
No, I didn't buy any. They did. I'm down to 3 things, by the way. I need 1 carded figure and 2 play sets to have the retail releases.
Wow.
There's the
Impressive.
mail away stuff.
Most impressive.
But just, I'm thinking like this person had all this somewhere. Were they a retailer? Because
Yeah.
there was like
But even
multiples of this
retailers don't
stuff.
treat their fucking
No,
stuff
they
that
don't.
well.
But it's like, but I mean, it almost looked like they had cherry picked cases of stuff. But there was just so much.
Yeah,
of
it seems like
this.
that would be in box.
I
Like
mean,
they bought a
it's-
crate and didn't fucking open the crate at all.
So last time I was there, I bought a picture of Reba McEntire with a ticket stub where she played here in Baltimore years ago. And you guys may or may not know this, but at our house, our drinkware, a lot of it is Shrek glasses from McDonald's.
Yes.
Well, they faded over the years and broken over the years. So if I see them, I buy them. And I bought 3 vintage McDonald's Shrek glasses at Attorney of Dreams for $25 and immediately added them to the rotation.
Nice.
Because a couple had broken and stuff. So, and that's just the silliest nonsense in the world that we do that.
Yeah, I want to go.
We definitely need to do that one day. They did have some Star Wars figures, Bobby. I don't know if this is one of the ones that you've been looking for.
No.
But it's got those awesome paint apps on the eye.
Yeah, no.
They had some bootleg Transformers. Star Wars stuff. And then I saw this, Jim. Let me find it here.
But you know that one of the malls I go to when I go to Japan, Akiba, it's like that. I think it didn't used to be. It used to be one big nerd store in there, but now like literally 3/4 of the mall is probably just that store.
Oh wow!
They just kept opening more locations of that one store, and then they separated. Like one just only sells artwork, original artwork. Right. One just sells books. One just sells robots. Like I don't know how they have so much merchandise and can afford a whole fucking mall.
I'm seriously debating planning a family trip to Japan.
Yeah, they're wanting back up this month.
Yeah. I want to go see wrestling. Obviously, my family doesn't want to, but they can go do anime stuff while I'm at wrestling. Yeah, one more thing I want to show from there. They had these stacks of, these are uncut Pokemon cards that were a Burger King giveaway back during the 90s.
I'm not sure if that's the right picture. It's uncut cocaine.
Yep. That's what's
so
actually.
You can get to the jamboree.
Yeah. But just they had this. So I sent that to Mason. He's like, wow, that's crazy.
Is that expensive?
They were like $6 a sheet. No,
so I guess,
not really.
I guess not that collectible then.
Yeah. I did see there was a vehicle out back with their pride flag on the back, so to speak. But then this one got me thinking. So it's 45 squared, which on the surface is okay. They're trying to say Trump's going to get a second term.
That's not how you write that number.
It isn't. But do you know what happens if you do 45 squared? Do you know what number you get?
I do not.
You get 2025. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, some QAnon nonsense has told them in 2025, 45 squared.
But isn't it 2024?
Yeah, but that's the year of the election, 2025.
Okay.
I'm making this up, just so you know.
No, I think you're probably right.
I am probably right.
You're probably right.
Illuminati confirmed.
Yeah. And then I watched.
My baby does that. Yeah. She puts the fucking shit on.
Kelly got this Lego set I wanted to show you. It's Bowser. The box is huge.
Hey, yo.
Oh, and I got.
And a throwaway. Where's that from?
The Super Mario.
No,
it's a Lego set.
Oh, it's a Lego set.
It's a Lego set. And I got the Office Lego set.
So it's
pretty excited about it.
It's funny that you bought a Mario Brother thing this week. Don't ask me, because I won't tell you. I'm not playing with you. I refuse. I will tell you off air, but I will not tell this information publicly. I spent more money on a Jack specific figure this week than I would ever feel comfortable admitting.
Why?
Because I needed it.
Did you?
Doink?
No.
Because there is a Jack specific Doink.
Is it really?
Yeah, from back in the day.
But yeah, it completed something, and yeah, I'm ashamed.
At some point, it becomes like an addiction.
Yeah. Yeah.
So commonality shows I'm behind an episode. I did not get to the Game of Thrones this week. I didn't see Sunday's episode.
Oh, dude.
I know. I'm behind.
It's so good this week.
Don't ruin it for me. But where do you want to start? Did you watch She-Hulk this morning?
I did watch She-Hulk this morning.
And have you seen Andor?
I did see Andor.
And what about
Lord of the Rings? So in Lord of the Rings.
Let's start wherever you want. I'm good on all three of those.
All right, so She-Hulk.
Yes.
Is my notes are a waste of Daredevil.
Okay.
And the arch nemesis of She-Hulk has finally been revealed.
Yes.
It's slut-shaming, Joe.
Yep.
Slut-shaming is the arch nemesis.
It is.
Of She-Hulk.
Okay.
I will say, I think it might have been the best episode so far.
So, I mean,
listen, I know there's a bar, and we're limboing at this point.
Yes, you're probably right.
It is the most interesting.
Dude, this show is relying too much on guest appearances. Literally every episode has had some sort of guest appearance.
Yeah.
And it's relying too heavily on it without giving her any sort of time in the sun to really be interesting in any significant way. On top of that, the writing is childish and immature and sloppy and dumb and worse.
We got the Frogman though.
We did.
The villain is what's his name? So there was a Marvel Legends figure of this guy in a frog suit that kind of show formed for a while recently, and we made jokes about it. But that character is in the show, or the son of the character, or whatever.
Yeah.
the something I pulled out of that was kind of just a whisper was the Sokovia Accords are repealed. I don't know that we've ever been told that before.
Yeah.
Have we been told that before?
No. I agree with you that was one nugget of information that has come out.
I mean, I made
That's
a
important.
note of that. Yeah.
It's important to just be dropping it here like that.
I agree. They'll say it again. They'll say it somewhere where it matters.
It'll probably like in the Thunderbolt show or something.
Dude, the I don't think so. I'll tell you.
So?
I think the shows are the Marvel shows are to the Marvel Cinematic Universe what the expanded universe is to Star Wars now.
Okay.
Like not the
Think
old
it won't be
expanded
canon
universe
at some point?
Not the old.
Are you talking
expanded,
about like the novels now?
Correct.
Okay.
So like they're fun and you can enjoy them.
You wanna
There's
flesh it out?
There's a little story, but you won't need it in any way, shape, or form to pick up the next movie.
Gotcha.
You know, or the next show in Star Wars.
So, but if we think about it, like this show, well, I guess Miss Marvel was the first one, but this show,
There's very little thinking required for the show. I'll be honest with you, but go ahead, continue.
true. This show is a character developed for this show. It's not a character from a movie. Like you
Yes.
think about all the first set of shows they
Yes.
did. It's all
Yes.
these people were in movies and now they're in a TV show.
Yes.
This is a TV show with this person in it. So
Yes, it is a
I don't know if
character-
we're
it
even
is a-
grading it on the same.
It's a character underdeveloped for the show. I agree.
Underdeveloped. I like the way you did that. Underdevelopment. Yeah, that show's underdevelopment. Maybe that's a good one.
That's a good one.
They're just planning to underdevelop it from the jump.
Yeah, it's just. I don't think it knows what it wants to be. Like I think
it sounds like it was poorly thought out.
I think sometimes it wants to be a socially conscious show. I think sometimes it wants to be a kind of like quirky comedy. I think that sometimes it wants to be like a rom-com.
Mm-hmm.
I think that sometimes it wants to be taken seriously. But the problem is the times where you are supposed to take it seriously are so few and far between that it's hard to take it seriously.
So
They didn't set the tone right.
here's
Correct.
here's a takeaway that I had. So at the end of it, when she's at her Lawyer of the Year thing, which was they gave everybody the award.
Yeah.
It was really whatever. But then I don't remember the name of the organization that flashes up on the screen, and they show all this footage of her. Is whoever she's been talking to the one that's filming all this? Is that going to be the twist to this? Because she keeps talking to somebody, and we're assuming it's us, but it's the camera, and it's all these kind of intimate shots of her.
So maybe, and I would like that, except in this very episode, she talks about like it being episodic and that
Yes.
next scene is probably the twist. And
Right.
All
I hate
this.
it.
Yeah, dude. I hate it too.
And she
I hate
gets-
it. I hate the shit out of the show. I think it's awful.
You watching it?
But they literally told us there's only one more. So
Yeah, there's one more.
one more episode. That's
one more
And
episode.
if this was an hour show, I'd have quit.
Did
I can stomach 22 minutes.
Yeah, this was
this feel
little
like a ramp
longer.
up to a finale?
Oh my, no, this is a fucking joke.
Well, for the first time, she gets super angry and like loses control and like scares people, I guess. That was an interesting dynamic, I think, to see.
That bloody CGI has been scary from day one.
It has been. But from a storytelling aspect, to see her is the first time people have actually been frightened by She-Hulk. She
Yeah.
like smashes the monitor and screams. Like "Rawr."
Pretty frightening stuff.
Hulk smash. Well, it's not, but
I
the reaction.
I agree with you.
People started screaming and running out of the room, and then
Yeah.
there's all these like tacked up dudes with I don't know laser cannons or some shit. I'm like, why is she even holding it? She can just clean their clock or jump far away. I don't.
To clean their clock. Let's bring that back. I like that phrase.
I don't think people know what clocks are anymore.
That's probably true. And they certainly wouldn't know how to clean them.
No.
So Andor.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Did you love it and/or like it?
I loved it. I do think I am happy that it looks like next episode something's going to pop off because it has been a slow burn.
It has been.
But I think the payoff is coming.
Yeah.
But the dialogue in this shit is so bloody good.
Dude, like the conversation that Mothra has with her husband and her daughter at the breakfast table.
Mothma.
Oh, I was thinking Godzilla, the big
Mom Martha.
What if she was just...
I say that as a joke, but it's Mom Mothra. It's Mothra's mom. That's why she's got those long sleeves. And like, I love their car. It's just so out of place in Star Wars to see something nice and shiny.
No, you got those hover bikes from.
Well, maybe they got the hover. Maybe Mom Mothra was paying for the hover bikes.
Well, it's also
shiny too.
Interesting to consider that even during the height of the empire, that Coruscant was still a pretty place to be.
It was because it was. I mean, the emperor lived there, didn't he?
Yeah.
So he's keeping his. Well, Coruscant is nice on the top.
Wipe your feet.
I'll tell you, Bobby. There's a series of novels that aren't canon anymore that explore the underside of Coruscant.
That is true.
It's very captivating stuff.
Who keeps flicking their death stick butts all over the front steps?
Death stick butts. And I'm enjoying the. I'll call political intrigue and the the one ISB officer, the young lady who is like, something's not right here.
I love it. I love that.
I'm trying to piece, and she's like, this is exactly how I would do it.
Yeah, she's like, it's too random.
I think it's going to come out.
Like she's like looking at all these little pocket like cells of the rebellion popping up, and she's trying to alert people.
But
to it.
They're like, dude, that's not your job.
Yeah, and nobody's taking it seriously.
I think it's going to be at the end. She's going to be like, I tried to tell y'all motherfuckers, now you ain't got no more Death Star.
And she's like, they never climb the same fence twice. Like, it's just like there's little, like, the way they wrote this shit is like, it feels like it gives me chills. You know what I mean? Because like, I believe her 100%. Like, that's like when she's talking about like, like these, like, it's too random to be random. Like, I believe her concern. Whereas like juxtaposed with She-Hulk, because I watched these back to back this morning. I was like, this is garbage. Like, she's doing such a great job. The other bit that I love is they're getting ready to it looks like, infiltrate that Imperial base.
Yes. Now,
disguise?
Help me with this. Are they
will.
they're on that.
There's a toiler for that.
Are they on the planet where this base is, or are they leaving to go to the
They're
base?
on the planet where this
Okay, because it's kind of vague. It's been vague about that. I mean, I love the dialogue between the dude that had the tattoos.
Yep.
Whose name eludes me, and then like
in Andor.
In Andor, they kind of. I mean, Clem.
Dude, yeah,
Clem. Really?
That's
Of
like,
all the names in the galaxy, you're going to be Clem.
But
I think he used to change my tires in Alabama.
It's funny because
there is a Clem tire in Alabama.
I think of that too because I know this real country bumpkin guy that always talks about his best friends, and his name's Buck. This dude Buck, and I would love to have him on the pod. He's funny as shit, but he always talks about his country ass buddies as if I know them.
Yeah,
like,
Clem and them.
It'd be like we all at the bar. Me, Clem, Earl. There's like another one too, but like they're
Probably
all like
Jimbo and a Cletus.
But it's like Cletus. Cletus is the other one.
Shit.
Yep. So like he says like this thing about like you're all afraid, like because they start like kind of turning on him on Andor because he's paid to be there, and they're like their heart and soul is in it.
Yeah, they've been eating like roots and this 6-horned goat milk or whatever.
And he just comes out like, I'm paid to be here. Like, and they start like
in the debate.
And he's like, well, why didn't you tell us that? He's like, it wouldn't have mattered. If I told you that earlier, it'd be something else today.
Yep.
Like, this isn't about what I'm doing. This is about your fear.
Yep.
You're afraid and you're looking for a way out. And if you want to leave, leave. And like all this, and they're like, are you not afraid? And he says, of course I'm afraid. Fear isn't the same thing as losing your nerve.
Yeah, that's good.
Dude, I was like,
but like the scene, so back to the scene where like early in the morning, and I guess the dude's kind of taken all his shit and laid it out or whatever. But then the dude's got like these tattoos, and they're prison tattoos, I guess. Like
I think so.
Barcode on his chest, and Andor knows what it is, and so they kind of had this kind of little bonding moment between them that. Like they both know that they're probably willing to do shit that these other people aren't going to do. Like we're the fucking killers here.
Yep.
Those other people are going to play dress up and get what they need, but if people got to die, that's going to be our hands are going to get bloody.
I agree. The other thing that I love is he said when he's like when it starts to settle down, like the little inner mutiny, he's like the day before is always the worst. He said there's too much time to think. Yeah. But it's like it's so like I believe these characters have been in this world their whole life. You know what I mean? Like, and
it's doing such. I mean, like, look, when we meet these characters, or the Star Wars in general, in episode 4, we got this farm boy who's pretty. They're pretty much
farmers.
They're but they know of the Empire and they know they're bad guys, but you don't see how it's affecting their day-to-day life. see Han Solo's flying around the fucking galaxy and he's dodging the Empire, but yeah, whatever. And Leia is a fucking princess, so she's unrelatable. Well, now you got the guy tells a story about how his brother was a farmer and they take his fucking forest because they felt like it.
Yeah,
and then there's the scene where they're on the planet and they're asking the guy, do you like this building for your headquarters? And it's a fucking apartment complex.
Yeah.
All those people are going, and all he wants to do is like, can you make me a prefect? I don't need the money. I just want the title.
Yep.
Like, fuck, man. These guys.
Shit. It's good, dude.
It's very fucking relatable to the world we live in.
I agree.
It's so good. And I will say one more thing about this. The energy I think that is captured in Rogue One, they have done a great job expunging that.
Agree.
And I think Rogue One may be my favorite Star Wars movie, but it is by far the best Star Wars movie from the Disney era.
It's my second best.
Okay. You can have that.
It's my second best Star Wars from the Disney era, and it's my fourth favorite overall.
Yeah.
Mine is 5, 8, 3, Rogue One. That's my top 4.
Yeah.
So let's see. I did see the House of Dragons.
Yeah.
I feel pretty much the same way about it, but it is like,
is it the same cast at least?
Yes.
Okay, good.
And it is boiling.
Okay, good.
Like it's like that kettle.
I'll probably watch it today.
That kettle is getting ready to it's so good, man. And like her kids, the queen's kids, are fucking little shits, dude. Like, I just want to wring their fucking necks. That is interesting. It's an interesting like accomplishment of Game of Thrones. Is like, I haven't hated villains in any other franchise ever in my life the way I hate Game of Thrones villains.
Wow.
Like, I fucking despise them for being as fucked up as they are, and this one is, it's setting the pieces for me to prove to be no different.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's phenomenal. That show, like, it's such a weird place to be in, watching so many things that I'm really enjoying.
It is. Yeah. And then She-Hulk. And then She-Hulk also. And then She-Hulk.
And then there's She-Hulk, which is trying to keep me balanced.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about.
You can't not have to watch She-Hulk. We all this other good shit.
We didn't talk about Lord of the Rings.
So I'm heading there next.
Okay, go ahead.
So, Rings of Power. I'm loving it.
This was a
fucking loving
great episode. This last week's episode was great.
Dude, like, a spoiler.
We're a week behind as you listen. Sorry, but
so you've had time. But like these orcs storm this one kind of stronghold, for lack of a better term, right? And these like this like elf, this like badass elf, and this chick like kind of like rally the people because they're like kind of commoners, like,
well, like
farmers.
half of these people left to join the Dark Forces. This one guy was like, "There's no way we can beat them. Let's go join them," and they leave and go join them.
Makes sense.
Well, the rest of the people are left,
and they're not fighters. Like, they just kind of want to be left alone.
They're not flyers.
They're not fire. They're not
drivers.
I'm gonna get that on the. I gotta redo my book.
They might be climbers.
Yeah, but
they're dyers.
Facts.
Well,
so
we all.
So they finally like rally them together, right? Like, all right, everybody, hands in the middle. Like, kill orcs. Like, they rallied them. So the orcs come in, and you see a couple of them, and the rest of them are kind of all armored up, and they're going to war and everything, and blah, 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 and the humans are victorious. And then they like flip open like one of the helmets, and they're the men that were sent,
the half that went,
that went. So like all they've done is killed a bunch of dudes.
And it was just a decoy.
And now here come the orcs. Dude, like, it's like, oh no, like, I don't want to watch. Like, it's gonna be a fucking slaughterhouse. They struggled with these dudes.
Yeah.
Like, but it was great, and there's like some twists and turns in there. And then like, I don't understand. I need to talk to my do we have a name for the
ringworms?
Ringworms. I need to talk to a ringworm and find
I'm sure
out.
they would have to talk to you after calling him a ringworm.
And my buddy Nick is a ringworm. Let me see if I can call Nick, just to see if he knows, because he's a ringworm. He's a ringworm for sure.
Like a real ringworm, like a book reading ringworm.
Yep. And I think he actually has mixed feelings on the show. But we'll see.
As a lot of the book readers.
Yeah. Let's see if he answers.
Hello?
Nick.
Hey, what's up?
What's up? It's Bobby. You're live on Nerd Rage.
What up?
Oh, hey, how's it going?
So I got a quick question for you, because you are what we call here a bit of a ringworm. which is a Lord of Rings fan.
Okay.
The episode. Did you see the latest episode of Rings of Power?
What was the latest one?
Where they stuck that hilt of that sword in that rock at the end?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What's the deal with that?
So I'm pretty sure what that is, that mountain that blew up,
Yeah.
I think that is Mount Doom.
That's Mount Doom.
Okay.
I think that's where the Southlanders lived, I'm pretty sure. And I'm pretty sure that what just happened there when, the basically like Pompeii happened,
Right.
and the mountain blew up, I'm pretty sure that's Mount Doom.
Okay.
And what they just created was Mordor.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay. I thought you might have the answer. So I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
All right, see.
Dude, shout out to the ringworms.
So that's basically creating what ends up being the story for Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, or at least the setting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving.
Do you know who wrote that?
Pusha T.
Yep.
So I'm loving Rings of Power. I'm loving House of Dragons. I'm loving Andor. And I'm watching this other show on HBO.
She-Hulk? What if She-Hulk was on HBO? You think it'd be better?
100%. 100%.
Hey, let us borrow that green girl for a
because
bit.
they wouldn't put out this thoughtless bullshit.
Thoughtless?
Yeah, thoughtless.
I thought what Titania is kind of a thought, so
it would be thoughtless on HBO. It's thoughtless on Disney Max,
right.
Or Disney Plus.
I don't know. HBO might put plenty of thoughts in it.
Maybe, but they'd be the bloody type you want to see more.
There you
of,
go.
You know what I mean? So I'm watching this other show. I can't even remember the name of it.
It's captivating.
It's on HBO. Laura really wanted to see it, so we're just watching it. We have one more episode left, and the fucking season's done. It's called Somebody Somewhere or something like that.
Okay.
That's why I can't remember the name. It's like Somebody Somewhere or Something Somewhere or Somewhere Something or something. It's like two words that are like that.
I'll take a V.
Let me see.
It's the Wheel of Fortune categories feel like some.
Yeah, but it's like
people and things. Okay, man, that helps, man.
People and things. But it's about this family, this white trash, a poor white family, in the South maybe or the Midwest somewhere. Somebody Somewhere is what it's called, and it's like a drama. There's three sisters. One of them was adopted, and she has passed away. We don't know how she passed. I think she might have gotten sick, but she passed away. The other two sisters kind of returned home. One is kind of owns her own store and kind of thinks she's better than everybody else. And then the other one went to work somewhere, it didn't work out, and now she's kind of living with her parents again. The mom has kind of become a drunk, and the father's kind of taking care of the mom and kind of ignoring the alcohol problems. And it's just about the family dynamics and the drama that ensues. But I'm quite enjoying it.
It sounds like an episode of Hoarders.
So if this family
you replace alcohol with hoarding, that sounds exactly like an episode of Hoarders.
This family looks like a family that could be on Hoarders. But I'll say this: it's heartfelt. It has emotional beats. It has family moments. It has drama. It has comedy. There's good laughs. Her best friend is this dude at her work that's a gay dude. He's fucking funny as shit. It's a good show. I'm quite enjoying it. So
nice.
There's that. And then, of course, I am watching and still working on Hostages, which is the Iran-Contra documentary series. It continues to blow my mind. I'm only on the second episode because I find myself having to keep running it back to make sure I really understand what's going on, because it's fucking intricate, man.
Yeah.
And the way... Because there's so many factions that were kind of this revolution that happened in Iran. It was there were so many fanatical groups that weren't all right wing. There was left wing, there was right of center, left of center. The only thing they all kind of agreed on was to get this guy out of power. Mm-hmm. But once he was out of power, they all kind of have different visions
how to fill the vacuum.
They weren't all on the same page to begin with, and other than a common enemy.
The people that ended up taking the hostages from the American embassy were actually college kids that was kind of set up as do you think we could do it? And then, but once it happened, then they had this kind of political power leverage.
Oh, so you mean Trump being the president?
I guess.
I mean, I honestly think when he ran and it was, do you think we can do this? And it became what it is.
Yeah. so that, you know, like it's just like it's fascinating how quickly control can be lost.
Yeah.
You know, scary. You know, it's scary. But anyway, I can't recommend this shit enough to everyone. Hostages, it's absolutely
And it's on HBO.
and my buddy Nick, yes, it's on HBO. My buddy Nick just texted me and said mostly sure that dude that fell from the sky is Sauron.
Okay. Because we haven't seen him in a couple episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I have a little family story. So Selena, this kid came up in class, right? This kid that like his name came up in class. Like this kid in her class, his name came up at home.
Okay.
And she was like, I hate that kid. I can't remember. We'll call him Kyle. I don't know what his name is.
That's fair.
And I was like, why do you hate him? What's he done to you? And he's like, he doesn't like girls. It seems like, and like anytime girls are mentioned, he's like, ugh, girls are ugly. And then I'm like, well, why would he say that? And he's like, he says that girls are ugly. That's why they wear makeup so they can be pretty. They don't like men don't have to wear makeup to be attractive. Like I'm using sophisticated words.
Right.
You know, but
How
girls,
old are they?
but girls do 4th grade.
It's what 10?
9, 10,
10,
yeah.
So Selena, like, you know, everybody's biased about their kids, right? But I try to stay pretty level-headed. Like, Jane is super smart. My other two are not. So, like, just to give an idea, like, right? Like, just be honest. Like, my other kids aren't dumb, but they're not gifted the same way that Jane is gifted in that specific department. Now, Selena is a very pretty girl. Not to say that my other kids aren't pretty. But they're not Selena pretty. She's a beautiful girl. And so I was like, well, Selena, what you do is just get a third party to come over. And she's like, okay. And I was like, do what? And I was like, then ask him, who's prettier, me or him? And then when they say you, just throw your hoodie on and say, I'm not wearing makeup, and walk away.
Yeah.
And Selena was like, it'd be so good. And then she went like this, but you're not allowed to wear hoodies in class.
Foiled again.
Which I thought was funny.
Kennedy was having some boys were giving her a hard time. Did I tell you this? What I told her?
No.
So just walk up to him, and if they start bothering you, just look at them and say, "Hey, are you circumcised?" And if they say yeah, then say, "Well, what's that smell then?" Or if they say no, then say, "Oh, that's what that smell is." And she used it a couple times, and they left her alone.
Oh man, I have a good. Oh, I just had a brilliant topic come to mind. I'm putting it in my phone as an opener for next week.
All right.
I'm just writing it down because I don't want to lose it.
That's happened. Well, I mean, we lose shit at the end of the show that we talked about in the middle of the show.
Yeah.
No doubt.
All right. So then moving on to notes. So who was this? So my note for this is, who was this a secret to? So the new Scooby-Doo is celebrating Velma's girl crush. That she has a crush on a girl.
Okay.
And the headline was like, Velma character secret revealed. So I was like, who the fuck is this a secret to? Whoever thought Velma was a heterosexual girl? Anybody? I don't even know. I didn't even know what gay was when I was a kid. But I knew that she wasn't straight.
Yeah. But also, who cares? I mean, why is that news at this point?
Yeah.
Because it gets the clicks. Because it gets.
I don't know why it's still
guess.
getting the clicks. It's a question.
Because it creates people saying stuff like
Hashtag not my Scooby-Doo.
So that, and then on the other side, you could be, I can't wait to see how many racist, homophobic people are going to be angry about this.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, nobody gives a shit. Everybody knows. Everybody has thought that Velma wanted Daphne on the low. Everybody, and nobody gave a shit.
Nope.
You know.
I mean, that's enough parody porn on
Now,
that.
if they make Daphne Bagger, I might have an issue with it.
Oh yeah.
You know, because he's in my mind, she's supposed to be with Fred.
Good old family values.
You know, tradition, just like Chick-fil-A. I'm kidding. But anyway, let's see. And but yeah, that's it. I know. I just
That's the only notes.
no. Just that's it for that. Like, it's just like that character was so obviously leaning that way.
Yeah.
You know, it's the right
The whole time.
It's the right choice.
Yeah.
You know, it was always that choice.
I mean, it's like, you know, you see shows sometimes that are like a character is coming out and everybody's like, this isn't news. Why are you
right?
I mean, it happened to me in real life. Not me coming out, but I had a manager of mine from the art gallery that worked that come out.
Well, there's your sign, Joe.
And but he was obvious. I mean, it was obvious.
Right,
It
right,
wasn't
right.
like super effeminate or anything like that. But like, there's just so like everyone's gear just goes off when he's around. He doesn't have to
Yeah.
do the whole shebang. So like when he came out, we were all just like, yeah. We're not supposed to know that, you know?
You know what's funny? Like,
Kind of thing. I'm like, it's a big deal for people to come out, especially like fucking 15, 20 years ago.
I think I've told this story before, but like, I'm just being open, right? I'm just being honest. Like, where, when, and how I grew up, that lifestyle, whatever you want to call it, that walk of life was unacceptable, to say the least. Like, it was like capital U. You wouldn't have survived in my neighborhood. You wouldn't have survived in my family. Like, it was just not. It was like it was a thing. Like, it was just not okay, right?
Right.
I went to college, dude.
Nice.
I went to college.
Finished though,
and I did. Dude. I only used my degree for my lowest paying job I've ever had in my life, in my adult life. Anyway, I went to college, and there was a openly gay dude in the class, which was probably my first experience with an openly gay dude, because
I mean, at a ripe old age of like 19, 18, 19, that's pretty old to be not exposed thus far.
yeah, because I mean, like, there was people that were like in question,
Yeah.
but they would have never came out because it would have just been like, it would have been a death sentence, not a literal death sentence, but it was like, you know,
Social
people
death
would
sentence.
social death sentence. You know, and I'll be honest with you, like, I was a product of my environment. Like, I was like, you know, I was like, man, like, when I saw this dude, I was like, man, what in the fuck, you know? But then I'll never forget, the teacher was late, the professor, and this dude, his name was Anthony. He went up to the front of the class and he started teaching like the class, but like in a joking way, you know? And he was super like, you know, Saturday Night Live 80s gay. You know what I mean? Like, all right, everyone, fucking pull, you know, like that shit. And like, the teacher came in and was like, you can take your seat, Anthony. And he was like, that's Miss Anthony to you. And like, and I started laughing so hard. And then that was the moment that like, it humanized him to me in a way, because he said something that made me laugh. Like, I had some sort of emotional reaction. You know, laughter is, I would say, it's like an emotion.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it changed the dynamics of how I saw him. And then working in class, like, you work with different people and you get to know somebody, and that changed my life.
Yes.
You know, like, the exposure changed my life.
I think that's a lot about what higher learning is meeting different people from different backgrounds.
100%.
Learning how to interact with them.
100%.
Yeah.
It's invaluable.
Like again, always harp on life experience, see more people, go more places, not just to travel,
but not anymore, right, Joe?
right. But like dealing with different people, man, it really makes you. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You not being exposed to that till 18, 19, and was able to immediately flip the switch, I guess, so to speak.
Within a couple weeks. You know?
Like that. I mean, that says a lot, because a lot of people by that age, they're fucking pretty stuck in their ways.
Yeah,
you know. I guess you weren't hardcore against.
No, I wasn't.
But
I wasn't joining any groups.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it was just like, because there was nothing, no groups to join, because who would be? You know, and where I grew up, like, it was like, no, fuck, they're not. You know what I mean? Hell no. Like, so the idea of like it even being such a big deal wasn't a big deal, because there was no sign of any gay people anywhere.
Yeah,
you know.
And I think that's the,
and it probably sucks for them, because there's probably statistically
plenty,
speaking, there was probably plenty.
Yeah, and that's part of the thing with the stereotypical of like people not wanting more. Was it blue collar? But people don't want the kids to go off to college and be quote unquote corrupted. You know, it's like then coming back being all different. It's like, no, that's what you do want. That's
Yeah.
that they go off and do change and become better. I think people are scared that or if you're more conservative, that the kids go off and become less conservative because they're exposed to more things.
So I'm just going to play devil's advocate on that.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you, but I don't think it's because of the other students. I think it's because of the institutions themselves. The institutions themselves have ingrained themselves politically over the past 10 to 20 years in a way that wasn't there prior.
Yes, true.
You know, and
I mean, I feel like college and stuff were always left leaning. Like
yes,
right?
yes,
In
they're
general.
always progressive,
Yeah,
but not necessarily left leaning.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a different perspective. That's what it is.
It's just a weird concept to me to demonize higher education in general.
Yeah, no,
Because there is a sentiment that people have.
Yeah.
that
Well, I think it's
being more educated is not is your fancy degree and whatever. I'm
Right.
Like,
right.
it's not just about that.
Well, because I mean, like, because it's interesting because like I've seen in blue collar work groups people say like because Trump on this last go round he only lost votes in one demographic,
which is
educated white males.
okay.
That's the only demographic that he lost votes in. He went up in every other demographic. So but a lot of blue collar guys I know will say the educated, with their
Quote, air quotes.
but I don't think so. To me, education isn't the issue, but I do look at college a certain way. Sometimes because of the they want to frame everybody. College should be a place for open thought,
Yes.
for questioning things,
Yes.
for coming into challenges.
Yes.
And they're trying to create, in my opinion, an environment where it's an echo chamber.
Yeah,
and they're not welcoming the different points of view, and that is an issue to me.
There's an issue. There's a problem on the other direction.
Yeah. And my other issue with it is it's definitely become a business more so in the past, I would say probably 40 years than it was prior
college,
to.
I don't remember college fucking loans and shit like that. School loans being that big of a deal when I was
not like they are now. It's fucking crazy now, and in my opinion, it's irresponsible for them to let an 18-year-old kid walk into their door and major in fucking women's literature and spend fucking
$250,000.
$250,000.
You're just setting them back in it. You're not helping. You're supposed to go to college to get ahead in life, but you are immediately set back.
Yeah,
and there are so many other.
You're saddled with a huge debt you never fucking pay off, most likely.
Yeah, and I'd like to say in my children's children won't have that experience, hopefully, because there's so many other alternatives education wise. Now, I mean, you can learn so much. Well, no doubt. Let's just use that as an example. Any skill you want to learn that's tech based, you can. I mean, I'm not saying you can learn how to run these machines that whatever, but anything at home or anything you can get your hands on YouTube. Yeah, I mean, even if you want to pay $200, you can take a master course in Photoshop or whatever, and
Udemy,
yeah.
Dude,
There's
you
just
can go to
so
Lincoln
much
Tech
stuff.
for 2 years and be a plumber.
Yep.
Yeah,
and I can tell you, I don't have the plumbing skills, and I can tell you, they're expensive skills to have.
they are. Yeah, they are. I'll tell you that. I've had plumbers in my house lately.
Roofing, electrician, AC.
I mean, any of that stuff.
Yeah.
And there may be a day where you don't need to know English 101. You know what I mean? But you're always going to need to know how to get the shit out of your house.
Yes.
Or pay somebody to do it. Yeah.
So next up, Trevor Noah leaves The Daily Show.
Oh, you must be happy about that. You've been talking about shit about that the whole time.
I hate that dude, man.
Yeah. It's funny because
Is he that hateable? I don't know.
I think
I don't
we had
hate
a
him. I don't
conversation.
wish death on him or anything.
Yeah, but you just
don't
really
like
don't
his
like
shtick.
I really don't like
Well,
his
I'll be
shtick.
honest with you. I'd never heard of the dude prior to him coming on there.
I mean, he used to be a correspondent on there.
Let me caveat that I didn't as a habit watch Jon Stewart on there.
So I like Jon Stewart. I like Jon Stewart a lot.
When I used to watch TV. But Trevor Noah and John, there's a couple other people who.
John Oliver came out.
John Oliver and also Stephen Colbert.
Stephen Colbert
They all came from there.
Steve Carell was on there.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I
guess he's the only one that people don't like because the other three seems to be doing well.
I know Jon Stewart's a super left-leaning dude, but I feel like on that show he had a very middle-of-the-road position. He gave shit to everybody. And it's as a young person growing up, I found his perspective refreshing, you know, and interesting, and made me ask questions and made me think about things a little bit more. And like this Trevor Noah, I just felt like when he came in, it was just like, nope, I'm just like the university shit. Like I'm a product of this. I see the world this way. This is right. This is wrong. This is like, these are the good guys. These are the bad guys. And, you know, and I'm like, I don't have time for
I mean, I'll give the guy credit, like through the pandemic, you know, transitioning into the gonna do it at home. Literally, he did that show from home for 2 years. You know, I give him all the credit in the world for working through that. I've never liked his shtick. I don't think he's funny.
I don't think he's funny
I don't like
either.
his delivery. I don't know if that show has legs past that, because all they do now is they play The Office, Seinfeld, South Park, movies on the weekend, and the Trevor Noah. That's all they play now.
I fuck with South Park.
Are they going to have a different person take over?
Yes, they've announced him.
Is it Drew Carey?
It's a comedian that's actually like in
Dave Chappelle.
No, but he's in that circuit.
Oh, Cat Williams.
No, Gillis, Steve Gillis.
I'm just naming comedians that I've heard of.
Hold on, I'm going to look
Cedric
up.
the Entertainer.
No.
Bernie Mac. They're bringing Bernie Mac back. They're doing a hologram Bernie Mac.
Because you don't need faces.
Shane Gillis.
Shut up.
Shane Gillis. This guy.
He looks kind of familiar. But
Is he British? He looks like he'd be
So
British.
I've never
I don't
seen
know
him.
what that means, but he looks like he'd be British.
I've never seen him, but he has gotten in a lot of trouble
Oh, that's what we need.
for, you know, the content of his comedy.
Okay, so he's on.
He often gets mentioned among the Bill Burrs, the Dave Chappelle.
What's his, what'd you
That's a
say
good
his
sign
name is
to me.
again?
Me too.
What's his name again?
Shane Gillis.
The name sounds familiar to me for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah. So I don't know if he's funny or not. I can't speak on that, but he's
Oh, he's on YouTube and he has a podcast. Bobby, it's you.
It's me.
Surprise!
Dude, Skullface Unmasked.
It's Shane Gillis.
Of course I know him. He's me.
But like, I've never seen a joke. I don't know if I find him funny or not, but he was mentioned to me in good company.
Yes.
I'll say that.
Oh, well, he was hired by Saturday Night Live and fired 4 days later based on a backlash from some clips from a podcast.
Yeah.
That's probably
Sounds
why I
good.
recognize him.
So the next note is Monkey Madness,
Uh-oh. Your favorite.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
I better start working out now so I can have Bobby's back when he whispers in a bearded man's ear. Tyler, you got to come to town for this one.
Yeah, Tyler, you were looking for an excuse to get out here.
In 2 years, you can come watch a movie about apes.
Yeah, come. Yeah,
So is it? I'll be honest with you. I just
Is it the same universe?
Tell me,
or-
tell me
same
what's
universe,
going on.
sequel to War for the Planet of the Apes?
So it's movie 4 then. A proper movie 4.
500 years later.
Oh.
500. So when
So
are
that's what caught my attention.
Hang on,
So, I mean, so it's
Basically-
going to be the original Planet of the Apes.
So no.
when is Heston? How far in the future is Charlton Heston's Damn Dirty Apes? Do you know?
Not it doesn't look like from the art, the motion picture art, the making of art, concept art was the word I was looking for.
Yes.
Joseph, thank you.
I'm bad with words too. I've been speaking really clunky today.
But in looking at the concept art, it does not look like it's anywhere near Charlton Heston.
Future, like the timeline wise.
Correct.
I mean, they're not the same timeline anyway.
Well, it's debatable because
So far.
because in Rise of the Planet of the Apes, there's like a rocket ship or something. Oh, the people, the spaceship that comes back in the original Planet of the Apes film goes missing in Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Yes,
But it's definitely not the
seeing
Marky Mark universe.
No,
I think that's
definitely not. But
all right. Planet of the Apes is in the year 3978.
bit
So
out there.
we
isn't it?
got some time to play with here.
So it's 500 years in the future. That's what
cool.
caught my
Sci-fi.
attention.
Yeah,
because
that
like
is
you
gonna be
can
different.
start over. You can
Yeah.
start over, but you're still familiar. I'm good with that.
And it's not. It will be less of a cash grab.
Yeah, and
Just
it's
building the franchise.
and it can't ruin what, in my opinion, is one of the greatest trilogies ever made. Like because it's so far removed. It's like even if it sucks, it's like, oh yeah, this is good. That's fine though. It doesn't like they took any of these characters and make them shitty. You know what I mean? It's like So I'm good with it. I'm excited. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Monkey Man. Let's see. And then we have from silver to golden screens, Christopher.
Oh.
Armor Wars is moving from a TV show to a movie.
Sounds awesome. What is it? I
It's going to be like Ironheart, War Machine.
Oh.
Maybe they'll throw a few more in there. It's like the Iron Man.
You know what I need
okay.
out of this? You know what I need, Maine?
Tell.
You know what I need, Maine? I need there to
Alternate
be an
universe,
alternate
Terrence
universe
Howard.
where Terrence Howard comes on and he says, you know, it's hard out here for a pimp
when you're
I
bagging
mean-
up these lobsters and these shrimp.
wearing armor suits and trying not to trip.
I mean, with the multiverse opening, like that's
what I'm saying,
That's not out of
Maine.
the question to see him
Maine.
on screen.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm good without. Do you remember like there's somebody was
Have you seen
You
all
don't
the
want to see
main
him in a silver
memes?
suit?
Nah.
Have you seen people have been putting his face on everything and just making it into Maine?
I remember you know when there's like this scene when Don Cheadle takes over that role where he says like, yeah, it's me, get over it.
I tell people, I talk to people, but people don't remember that.
Yeah.
Because I always say, like, when people talk about actorship, I'm like, I think Marvel did it in a brilliant way. They addressed it in lore and also, like, out of lore at the same time.
Correct.
It was his very first scene when he walked
yeah.
up.
Yeah. Do you want to build a snowman? Yeah, that's pretty good.
X-Main.
Terrence Howard stars in X-Main First Class. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. But he was just like, yeah, I'm here. It's me. Deal
But
with
it's super
it.
clever.
Yeah, it's extremely, like, best way I've seen it dealt with.
I agree. Main of Steel.
This one's good.
John Maine. And then the Wakanda Forever trailer too.
Yes.
Have you seen this?
Yes.
I have not.
Can we watch it?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. So thoughts?
I think that the very end of that trailer, spoilers if you haven't seen it, I think it's just something that happens, but that's not the main person that's going to be the Black Panther. I don't know. I don't know the answer, but that's just like, why would you give me that?
Because the toys are already coming. And I think they're just trying
Toys are coming.
Yeah, like I think they're just trying to get ahead of it. Like, but I've heard or saw a meme or something that suggests that maybe there might be multiple Black Panthers.
Well, why not? I mean, you see,
Yeah.
you have the technology, build them. If you build it, they will.
Well, it's also a title, though.
Yeah,
It is, and you have to drink that drink Maine. Dude, what if it's Terrence Howard? What if Terrence Howard?
I hope not.
What if he's a Panther Maine?
It's a really well done trailer.
It's a really well done trailer.
emotional.
Again,
We know that LL Cool J once walked with a panther,
that's true.
and I don't think he's been licking his lips on TV lately, so he might have something to do.
I got a song on the soundtrack.
I know you like your outfit stylish.
It's called Peanut Butter Nougat.
Pink cookies in plastic bags.
It's when
getting crushed by buildings.
And when I do it live, I'm gonna rub the peanut butter all over my chest and navel.
Navel. And then DMX will lick it off because he's a dog.
Fuck.
LL Cool J is such a weird person in hip hop.
Yeah, he's great though.
He
He's
is.
great.
But just after all, you put everything together, it's like
Yeah,
your career's wild as fuck.
it is. But I think it looks amazing.
It's just little
it does
wings
too.
on his feet flapping.
Yeah, dude, I love to see it.
And I don't know exactly what this means, but Atafe is somewhat of a cinematographer, if you know him from around the community, and he posted it looks like it's shot with an anamorphic lens.
Oh, good.
I don't know exactly what that means,
neither.
but it's
Perfect.
but it's
perfect.
I was worried it wasn't. I was worried it wasn't.
I think it's kind of like, you know, how things are just the clarity and everything.
Yeah, no, it looks. I think it looks amazing.
I thought I saw Cisco in that one scene. He's the guy with white hair.
Oh, maybe.
He ain't busy.
Yeah.
Hey, Cisco, what you doing? You want to go to Wakanda? I'll go, man.
Come on, man. Don't put that on Cisco. Not on Cisco. He's got enough going on.
I know you're tired
Does
of
he,
being
though?
alone
Does he
there.
have enough going on? Does he have nothing going on?
I mean, enough going on in terms of like criticisms about him. You know, they got the hair, the thong song, and all that kind of
love
stuff.
Someone
thong
is
song. Who
sleeping
doesn't
in
love
my
the thong
bed.
song?
Drew Hill was fucking badass.
Yeah,
though.
that Drew Hill record. I mean, that
Yeah.
first album is still great. Like Five
is.
Steps still fucking makes me feel away.
Sleeping in my bed. That's a
You
fucking
sleeping in
banger.
my bed. That one. What was that fucking? We're not making love no more. We're not even trying to.
Hey,
change.
hey, Bobby,
shit.
name someone else from Drew Hill.
I can't.
That's what I thought.
Oh wait.
Nah.
Yeah. No, I can.
It's coming. It's coming.
Niko maybe. Nico, I think, because he became a producer afterwards. He did DMX's
Swiss Beats?
What these bitches want.
from a player.
Yeah.
Somebody let me know.
Hold on one second. I'm pausing this because I'm bringing. Here we go. I don't care if we get flagged.
We never do. We always.
Hold on. I'm gonna drop it down because I don't want to blatantly get flagged. You know.
Like I have the privilege of getting to listen to a lot of this era of music in my Baltimore job.
All right, here we go. Drew Hill, let me sing it.
they're both okay. I didn't realize that.
But yeah, when I got the sometimes I get a little lonely. Yeah, of all the spots I work, the Baltimore spots has the best music.
I bet,
dude.
All night long.
Did you want to talk about that? I forget the dude's name.
I just had a Pat Stay.
Pat Stay, yeah.
So I'll be honest with you. Like, I'm aware of that world. I know you're big into that.
Yeah.
I know Energon Addict. He's super big into that stuff. I just kind of like, mostly if someone showed me something, I've seen it. And I guess I had probably seen that dude because I watched some clips. So the reason I know about it is Eminem posted a thing about it. Like, rest in peace to him. And it was on the 7th.
I'm not a heavy battle rap guy. Like, I'm kind of
I thought you were.
I'm a like
You're a fan of some of those guys, though, right?
No, I'm a fan of it in general, but like some of these guys, they can quote you stats and like
Sure.
football and shit.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm not to that level. But if you ever want to see something brilliant,
You see the compliment guy?
he's one of the compliment guys. If you look up the compliment battle, it's him and this other dude. That's also a famous one that I can't remember who he is either. But like they compliment each other. Like there's one. He's talking about like how good of a.
Do you want to
father.
play one of them? You think we can get away with it?
Yeah, hold on one second. Here we go. Here's some. There's a compliment battle.
Wish I could take it back. Because you're already smooth as fuck as it is, and I don't really like wasting cash. his dad and mommy are rich. If I had a body like his, I'd be an underwear model for Abercrombie and Fitch. Fucking sexy. And he still recycles. How can you hate on that? Pops bottles at the club, then takes them all back. Puts half his money in RSPs so he saves on cash and drives an environment-friendly car that's fucking great on gas.
So anyway,
Yeah.
the dude's pretty great.
He got
man. Rest in
fucking
peace.
stabbed in Canada.
Yeah,
I didn't know people did that in Canada.
yeah.
People stab you everywhere, bro.
Oh,
Rest in peace. Rest in peace to him. What else? Notes.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It's Nerd Rage.
That was it. That was it for notes.
What kind is the only thing like I've cared about from Marvel in a while?
Same.
Yeah.
Even
Same.
then, I'm like moderately interested.
I think it's gonna.
I'm not even like super. I feel like give me this trailer a year ago and I would have been like, oh, fucking can't wait.
Yeah, I agree.
Now I'm just
Keep
like,
in mind that
seems
that
cool.
company is pushing out She-Hulk right now. And I will say, I logged on to Disney Plus at 7:00 this morning to watch that. And it was not the first. It was the third thing. It was Hocus Pocus 2,
Hell yeah.
Andor, and then the third scroll was She-Hulk. So that may tell you about their priorities right now.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
I'm sure Hocus Pocus 2 should be making, well, I don't know, but making bank, but making a lot of streams right now, especially Halloween season. Mm-hmm. And all the 30 to 40-year-old white ladies.
Spooky, not scary.
So here's from
These are questions.
Billings.
Yeah.
He says, "Hey Ragers, what the fuck is up with the staircase?" Oh, the show I was talking about. He said, "Wife and I just finished the HBO Max show, and wow, I know it was a dramatization of real life events and of a documentary, but it was written wonderfully. Good recommend. It ends with him sporting a half smile directly into the camera. He definitely had his secrets and lied about weird shit, but did he kill his wife? I still don't know. He definitely did Sophie dirty, though. That gal, uprooted her entire life overseas and moved to North Carolina for him, and he just treats her like shit at the end. I completely agree. Anywho, just had to write in and thank you for the recommend. Did he really do it? P.S. I really like the owl theory." Billy's, dude, I don't know. I don't know. The thing that makes me think he did was that he had another wife die like the same way. You know, like fell down the stairs.
Yeah.
But the injuries are inconsistent with falling down the stairs is the problem. But whatever.
Say real quick. Speaking on, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, but like, even if they think he did kill her, they think that like he beat her with this fucking thing and pushed her down the steps like to kill her or whatever. But like the injuries are inconsistent with that also. So like they're inconsistent with both the defense and the prosecution. That's why the owl theory kind of works. Anyway, continue.
So, just on that subject of documentaries and series, do you guys remember, we talked about this, it might have been a couple years ago, Abducted in Plain Sight, you know, gotta have some relief. The girl that got kidnapped twice.
Yeah.
There's a it's on Peacock. There's a mini series of the story on Peacock right now that
This seems to be a trend. There's a documentary and then like a show.
Yeah.
A miniseries.
So it took me a minute. I'm like, I wonder if that scene's in there. When he gives him the handy.
I gave him some relief.
Gave him some relief. Then there's I know how much you love The American Office, but in the last season, there's two characters.
I love it a little bit less than the British Office.
Right. There's a character named Pete, and Pete, they called him Plop, but he plays the abductor in there. And then Colin Hanks, who is Tom Hanks' son, who I think's a great actor and hasn't really done much, plays the dad, and he's got this like awful like comb over hair. Like it makes him look like 100 years older. I'm interested to see.
Are you not watching Dahmer?
I'm going to tell you something about Dahmer. My wife started watching that, and I walked in on a couple scenes. I'm like, nah, I don't need to see this shit.
Because I feel like a lot of people are watching that.
She's enjoyed it, and I told her I just don't want to see all that. I mean, look,
I watched a documentary series about it that was fascinating. I feel like it would only be a repeat.
Well, the angle apparently is they've caught him, and now he's basically telling the cops that you're dumb that you haven't caught me yet, and here's what I've done, and it's kind of telling the story. And
there's a couple like that's like another like recent event.
It's on It's on that streaming platform. I can't think of the name of it.
The one I can't. Oh, it's the one I canceled. Probably Netflix.
Oh yeah,
yeah. There's other like current events I feel like that we haven't talked about. Like not to say that's a current event, but it's like a current thing going on in the ether. Like shooting a fucking missile at the fucking meteor.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
but they won't know the results for a while.
That's pretty badass.
No, they know. They have basically footage of it, and there's pictures of it.
No. I mean, like the results.
It wasn't a missile. We shot it
where it sends the meteor.
Yeah, like the results of the thing.
All they wanted to do was see if they could change the. So they shot a satellite at a meteor, and it changed direction. The Hubble took pictures of it. The new one the James Webb took pictures of it, and there's some video of it.
It's crazy.
One thing, let me tie this in. The premise of the last several seasons of The Expanse is throwing stealth tech covered meteors at the Earth, and like NASA and some of the other space agencies and some of the cast of The Expanse, like the guy who's the lead bad guy of The Expanse on Twitter, like kind of got into this joke battle with NASA about changing the trajectory of his rocks, and then they start talking. They do it in like the Belter Creole back and forth.
Yes,
I'm like it's so fucking meta. It's great.
Well, did you see the meteor that they hit into the fucking sun? They made it commit suicide.
Oh man, that's rough. Give yourself a honk for that one.
Patreon fans are going to get that one again on a different show here soon.
Oh, wow. Double dipping.
Anyway, he said, Garinger writes in and says, okay, so let's talk about Prey one more time. No, I'm just
no. He said,
no.
Moratorium.
He said, no, I'm just kidding. I think I finally get where Bobby's coming from. Sometime it does take me a bit. Only question I have today is for Bobby. When do you want me to send all these Landos I've been collecting for you? I'm good. I have all the Landos I need. Thank you.
Now, if you find any Zuvios.
Yeah. Shane G writes in a follow-up.
Oh boy.
So after listening back to last week's episode, I'd like to expand a bit further on my opinions concerning the MCU. So I've been home with my wife recovering for a solid 2 weeks, and with her sleeping a lot, I've had ample time to revisit all the movies and shows from Endgame moving forward to now. In my opinion, WandaVision is the most interesting of the shows until Agatha was revealed. Ruined every bit of the show for me because in my opinion, it diminished the gravity of Wanda's sadness by it all becoming a manipulation. Now, unless I missed something, I do not recall Wanda ever saying she could never recreate her kids again after having let them go in WandaVision, which brings me to Doctor Strange 2. The movie does one thing, gives us a glimpse into the multiverse, but it does it badly. Secondly, turning Wanda evil for no reason at all totally ruins WandaVision and the arc she sort of had there.
Yep.
If she never stated she wouldn't do it again, then why wouldn't she just go into her sadness cabin we see her in and just do it again?
Sadness cabin.
Also, I guess just fuck Vision.
Yeah, White Vision.
She must not really care for him because she sure as shit doesn't want to recreate him. None of it makes any sense to me within universe. As for the other Marvel shows, trash in my opinion. Loki is probably the most redeemable one, and that's on the charm and presence of Hiddleston and Wilson. Hawkeye, boring and lame. Moon Knight, couple cool parts, but then remembered it was a Marvel show and got dumb. That's a fair way to put that. She-Hulk, badly made, poor excuse for a 90s sitcom with superheroes shoehorned into it. Falcon and Winter Soldier, weak-ass villain with an interesting premise that ends up fussing at me for 20 20 minutes in the end. I do think Falcon and Winter Soldier's okay, and I do think Hawkeye's okay. But I agree they're not great. It's not great. I guess for me, I echo what Bobby says. It's soulless now. These movies before had stakes. You knew some bad shit was coming ultimately with Thanos. You could say it was inevitable, but there was a cohesion. Not all the movies were perfect. Hell, I would agree that most of them were average at best, minus a select few, but you knew where it was headed. The last phase has broken all of that. It just has things being put in the MCU for the sake of them being there. Yeah. It's lost its magic. Marvel has a lot of legwork and ground to cover to make the universe interesting again, or at least make me care enough to watch. I can't argue with you.
100.
Dude, it's like the fucking fifth column said it best. We the fifth, not the bearded dude. I had to say that every time. We the fifth. It's three guys. If it's not three guys, it's not the one I'm talking about. But they said it's become it has become a soulless fireworks display.
Yep.
Vex, he says, good day, Ragers. Great show. Hope all is well within your circle. 1, you could be placed on any team from any franchise. Who would it be?
Any team
from any franchise. DC, Marvel, Image, Dark Horror, whatever. Any team from any franchise.
Like, what do you do? Do you have powers?
Well, he's gonna get there.
Okay. Well, after answer the question first.
Mm-hmm. Any team.
I want to be the 6th member of the Dinobots.
Oh, the girl.
Oh, what? Hello? What is that? I don't remember that.
That's is this thing on?
The 5th Ninja Turtle? Or the...
Yeah, that's the 5th Ninja Turtle. Oh, there's the Velociraptor from Fans Project. Was it?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
I'm going to say...
Now I know what you're talking about.
Just for diversity here, Silverhawks.
Okay. I don't know, man. I think I'd probably be best on the Falcon with Han and Chewie. Like, I'm all about, like, let's just smuggle some shit and fucking
would be fun.
Make some money and get on with it, sit at this bar for a minute. Hang out with our dog.
The Rogue One crew.
No, I'm good. What would be your powers, ability, or skill? Mine would just be smooth talking in the tight circumstances that me and the fellas would get into.
See, I'm at least I'm partly metal and partly real.
But you can have powers though.
But what powers did I?
Because magic had magic.
Yeah, I want to be the really fast bird guy. Like I'm the Flash, but in space with bird.
But you still look the same. Like you still like super big dude.
Yeah,
like,
super big.
No, he's just like party metal now.
But I vibrate all the time.
But
like
to be able to watch that run fast would be great.
Yeah,
that would be great.
Me. That's me.
I mean, I'd be able to transform into a robot dinosaur.
Yeah, and maybe breathe fire.
Maybe they all have different powers.
You have robot boobs.
Oh yeah, because some of them stomp the ground.
You have robot boobs.
And the horn.
But he blew fire too, I think, or maybe it just came out of his nose sometimes. Rhinos and shit.
Rhinos.
I'd be the which dinosaur would I be? What robot dinosaur hasn't been made?
The one that's got like a turtle shell and a hammer on its tail.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Oh yeah, Pachycephalosaurus.
I don't want to have a Pachycephalosaurus.
No.
Girl.
Yours is an Ankylosaur or something like that.
One of the Fansoy girl bots is a pack of syphilis-saurus.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so it has been made.
Pachycephalosaurus?
Yeah.
That's what it's called.
Who would be your arch enemy? So here's the twist. Mine would probably eventually be Han when he met a girl and fucked the whole boys crew up.
Oh.
Yeah. Mine would be that I don't know the names of any of the Thundercats. Man, the country guy with the guitar, he and I are going to clash over who's countryer.
Bro, he's great. His
name's Bluegrass, though. Actually, it probably would be.
It is, but
it's the strong guy, because all he is strong, but if I'm big,
he's a football guy. One of the brother, and then,
Well, I'll probably end up banging his sister, and he'd be mad at me, so that'd be my arch.
I mean, she's hot. I don't know if
in a robot.
In a robot kind of.
We can make something happen.
And then he said, who would be your mate / side piece or ex?
Side piece. Oh, it's definitely the girl.
Pachycephalosaurus girl from Fansoys.
Mine's Silverhawk's girl.
Let me see. I'm hitting Ula on the low.
And
then she gets fed to the Rancor, so it's not even a problem.
It's fucked up.
Has it been confirmed that the Thundercats and Silverhawks are in the same universe?
I don't think so.
Have not had a crossover?
But he said
what that snarf do.
He said it can cross.
What that snarf do?
No, gross. Bro.
Snarf. Oh my god.
It talks the whole time. It talks the whole time too. Snarf.
Paul C writes in, firstly, a few follow-up points. Joe, you had asked if there was such a thing as Japanese drill. There is. It's called Gurren Lagann. And then he said, insert laughing husky meme. Secondly, at the moment, you'd have to say that Dave Bautista is the best wrestler turned actor so far. The number of high-profile roles he's had with such high-profile directors is quite impressive, and his range has been very impressive so far. He does a lot with subtlety, and that's rare. Cena's definitely in the conversation, as well as what he's done with Peacemaker, but since he's only been acting for a limited time, he can't overtake Bautista yet. Being completely fluent in Chinese and being able to play piano, though, Cena is definitely the wrestler most like Joe KW.
Hey, on that note, Brian M. sent me a note that said I've forgotten Roddy Piper from They Live as great wrestling acting.
And he says, now the question, what are the most iconic / your favorite lines from the main characters in Star Wars? All types of media apply. Are there lines you use regularly in conversation? No wrong answers. Dude, there's so many for me. It's
Hello
so
there.
Yeah. So that's one. It's all a bunch of simple tricks and nonsense.
Yep. I'm just a simple man trying to make my way through the universe. That's literally like my coda. Yeah.
Sorry about the mess.
Yeah.
I say that all the time at work.
I got a bad feeling about this.
I got a bad feeling about this. Impressive, most impressive. I say it to the kids every time they bring home like a good report card.
1/4 portion. I say that all the time.
Dude, I say fucking whenever we're here and I'm what is it? You're too close to me. But it's it's still a Star Wars thing.
Yeah.
Of course, I say
unlimited power.
Unlimited power
all the time.
I do the sometimes just to do that.
No. Somehow Palpatine returns.
Oh yeah. Dude, I love you. I know my wife and I do that from time to time. Like, let's see.
There's
so many. I everything.
Yeah.
Give me everything. I do. Every now and then I will do the Maul. At last we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last we will have our revenge. But I only do it when somebody's like, finally this thing came out, and then I'll look over like, yeah. At last, we can reveal it. Like that.
I used to do there's no
sand.
try all the time at work.
Sand.
When people say, I'll try it. I'm like, and I was
do or do not.
Yep.
I was playing Cyberpunk the other day, and the NPCs were having a conversation. And sometimes it's worth just to sit there and listen to them. And the guy's like, "I hate sand. It gets everywhere." Like, I had to go back and wait for him to loop it again. I'm like, "What did he say?"
Somebody's phone fucks up. Communications disruption can mean only one thing: invasion. And also, I thought they smell bad on the outside. I'll say that sometimes.
And this is how Liberty dies.
Yeah,
with thunderous applause.
So many, dude.
Yeah.
I don't even feel like
it's got some really good parts, guys.
I don't even feel like I've gotten my fucking foot wet yet. Like, because
there's something that you say so much that you don't even think about.
Dip my toes in. You see where I fucked that up?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but like
it should just become part of regular speech. You don't remember that as a reference anymore.
The common vernacular.
Yeah. Esteban writes in, he says, Thronies are thriving. This is, hey, NRR, how y'all been? So, House of the Dragon. It's good, right? A little on the dark side visually, but still good. I agree. Alicia and I are loving it, and all these time skips mean that the real story the showrunners want to tell is the Dance of Dragons. So, here comes some Throny talk. The war between all the grandchildren, the queen and the princess, there should be one more time skip and we are set to expand. The show feels small right now because we are only dealing with the three main families, Targaryen, Hightower, and Valerian. But as soon as everyone calls upon the banners, we are going to reintroduce all the other families. It's a good story and I'm hyped. So for my question, and to bring the room down, I wanted to mention Star Wars Episode 9.
Why?
No, we're done with that.
He said, yes, I'm sorry.
This is the last question we'll ever talk about.
Just like Predator.
Even though I enjoy it, I know most of you don't. But I still want to bring this up.
Somehow.
Now that you have all seen Matt Smith play Daemon Targaryen, the king's brother, do you think about his ability to play a neutral villain? Do you think the idea of him playing a Palpatine-possessed Knight of Ren or clone body of Palpatine would have been good? I've been really enjoying his performance as a daydream, but boy, dude.
Was that supposed to happen at one point?
There was, so like, there was two elements of it. So there was elements of the one script, and then there was elements of a refined script that it was going to be a Knight of Ren that got possessed by the spirit of Palpatine, which I think would have been so much more interesting. But he would have been. He's such a weird looking dude.
Yes,
and
he's got a lot of nuance in his head movement. I mean, he's a very well trained actor. I'll say that he's probably spent a lot of time studying.
That's
the
sad thing is I listened to a podcast about the sequel trilogy this past week. And these people that I listen to are not fans of it. But they made some really good points. Like, they basically said that 9 is the problem. But they also said that, like, 7 and 8 aren't good movies next to each other either. And I don't necessarily agree with everything they said, but I think it's an interesting perspective because I'm able to hear someone's point of view on something that I don't agree with and still be able to acknowledge nuance to the perspective.
Right.
But they said that, like, both movies are good. They're just not necessarily good next to each other. That, like, 7 does, like, a really good job of setting up characters, and 8 does a really good job of kind of creating the overarching story drama of what this thing is going to be about and what the perspective of these characters are. But neither of them connect in any kind of way that,
I mean, that is a problem.
you know, that, like, and then
Connection between all 3 movies.
and then they say that the third one just seems like it got completely away from them. You know, obviously, but anyway, it was an interesting conversation, but, like, nonetheless, I would have loved that whole Night of Ren thing where they actually are going down to hunt a knight, and the knight's being a bigger part of that movie in general.
Yeah, they end up being like nothing.
Yep,
basically.
dude, don't get me started. Okay, so this one, hi Ragers, L here. Puts in parentheses to not mention my real name, so that he did that for me. I've been a fan of Bobby's videos for quite some time and continue to watch them because of how honest he is. Well, thank you. Not a lot of reviewers are like that. Although I want to hear good things about a figure I want, hearing the negatives of it helps prepare what things I need to fix or what I need to look out for. Chris's work inspires me to be creative and get back to making dioramas again. I'm currently doing a Transformers Prime diorama.
Right on.
And Joe inspires me to start working out, which I think being healthy is important. I love the dedication that you guys put into your work and continue to appreciate and support that. Life hasn't been to my favor for a while now, and listening to you guys helps me forget about that and just motivated to keep going even though it's tough.
Nice.
Enough of that shit, though. I do have a few questions for you 3. For one, Bobby, what are your go-to methods for shading and reflections? I have this concept art for Soundwave, and I'm unsure what to do with it. I have it attached, and I'm downloading the file. Yeah, he does good work, too. This little drawing he sent of Prime.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, it's good. So, like, I usually, when I start coloring, I will take a layer and I will create just like a marker, like a fat marker. And I'll take the marker and I will draw an arrow pointing onto the figure from some direction. And that is where the light is coming from. So I can always look to that arrow to figure out where the light and shadows are going to be. I still manage to fuck it up sometimes if you look close. But that's my method. And then what I do from there is I take the certain panels that are, like, more hidden and I make them the next darkest shade. And then the certain panels that are most in the light, I make them the next brightest shade. And then I highlight those, I shade the others, and then I use the two that I just talked about to create the darker or lighter panel as a flat, I use to highlight or shade the middle bits depending on where they sit. I hope that makes sense.
That makes sense to me.
And also, it's not the way you're supposed to do it, because I always highlight and shade with gradients of the base color, and you're not supposed to do that because it's not actually how life works.
Yeah, but it's... Well, 2 things. There's a lot of ways you're supposed to do things,
fair.
but also it's just like, I don't know. For me, I'm like color challenged in a design sense. It's just easier,
You know,
because I know, like, the best art with a nuance is using different colors to shade and highlight,
Right.
Which is great, but, like, I can't wrap my head around the concept creatively.
Right.
You know, I was watching something to do with, I don't remember why, it was about rotating your tires and how you're supposed to do it in a certain way. And in my head, I was just like, it's that way because somebody decided it was that way. That's probably not the only way you can do that. And we are so taught to, and it goes back somewhat to higher education. Well, this is how they showed me how to do it in school. Well, yeah, you took classes in school to know how to do it, but I watched YouTube videos and I figured out a better way to do it.
Yeah, like core math. Don't do it that way. Don't fucking do it that way.
Second is for Chris. What resin would you recommend for duplicating joints like hinges and ball joints? I'm doing a custom, and for some flippin' reason, the arms were casted in clear plastic, which is a real fail considering that would break over time, so I figured I would change that.
I don't do a lot with resin. I know Smooth On is the brand that I have used historically.
Smooth On's a great brand.
But for I would probably have somebody design something in 3D CAD modeling or whatever, and then print it in with filament just for strength and deal with the lines instead of
if it's in a joint,
because if you cast a joint it's not going to last.
No.
You could get away with the tolerances on is it PLA? Is that what that material is called?
I think so.
Yeah, that'll definitely hold up longer. My 2 cents.
Lastly, Joe,
what
are your thoughts on Gundam the Witch from Mercury so far? The prologue definitely hit me hard in the feels, and the first episode was a nice introduction to the world, characters, and mobile suits. As a longtime Gundam fan, it's great to see more female Gundam pilots, as we only got a few of those. Thank you, guys. More power to you.
A couple things to unpack. I have not watched it because if you know me at all, I'm a binger. I'm going to wait for the whole thing to come out. But of the people in my circle, my Gundam circle, they've all loved the prologue.
Okay.
I was on the fence about the Gundam designs, though I like them the mechanical designs of them. They like stray a bit far to me from Gundam. Like what all the Gundams look very different, but like there's a thing that happens when you see a Gundam and you're like, that's a Gundam.
Yeah.
And like this strays a bit farther for me, so I'm gonna have to get used to it.
I get it. I totally relate.
I'm
like everything in my fucking life as I feel about that type of shit, you know.
And secondly, with female pilots, I mean, like maybe as leads, there might not be too many, but the problem is there are a lot of strong female pilots throughout Gundam, but like a lot of times they just crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're written that way, but like if you think about a lot of the Universal Century ladies, like not that they're weak or anything like that, but they just have some mental issues sometimes, and I don't know why.
To L, I want to see when you get this sound wave finished. Please send in the finished picture. I'd like to see.
Yeah,
it.
that looks cool.
And I'm going to call you the illustrator.
Oh,
you got a name, bro. You got a name now.
And this one, I want to see. This one's from Yaz. He says,
Birth control, yes.
Got hots and prayers and likes and shares. Hi, guys. Writing in again, and I realized that what I wrote last week wasn't really questions, but suggestions. One, wanted to ask Chris on how accurate and close was the anime to the game. I binged it, and as per your thoughts last week, it was really good. Also agree that if you do a second season, or if they do a second season, rather, they'd have to tell another story altogether.
I'm assuming we're talking about Cyberpunk.
Yes. That would be my guess.
It's really close to the game. I mean, they did a great job incorporating. I mean, you can go online and look. People have put side by side, like this is in the game, and here's the art.
But the action probably isn't, right? The anime action is usually over the top compared to. I mean, if it's not an anime game, you're not.
So I'll tell you, I never played with a Sandevis stand before. Which basically slows down time.
Yeah, you become faster.
I started a new game, and my goal was to build, because I've always built like a hacker that does the edge running and stuff. So I built basically on your tree. I did all body and technique or whatever for that. And I've got this the wire that comes out of my arm, the monowire. So I stop time, walk up to people, and literally cut them into pieces with this wire, and it shows all of that.
Sounds great.
The only thing I wish is if they would like show a replay from third person of me moving around, like me zipping these people's heads off.
Because that's the thing, like it's visually less impressive when you're playing because you slow time versus you speeding up.
Yeah,
visually.
Yeah, but
I know like
I've enjoyed the hell out of that.
The main, but like one of the big bads in the anime is in the game.
Adam Smasher.
Yeah.
He's in the game. I saw somebody on YouTube had done an Adam Smasher build. They had built the best you could.
He's also in the Justice Society.
Yeah. Well, this guy's crazy. He's kind of like General Grievous. He's like the head and the neck, and then the rest of him is a robot.
General Kenobi.
Yeah.
The jazz hands. You had the jazz hands afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, if you're asking about playing the game, I mean, I think it's only $30 right now.
I mean, he's only put a fucking 1,324 hours into it, so it shows you how good it is.
I don't know how to add up all the different times. Yeah.
He says, so would you say it's accurate?
The show to the game?
That's the question. How accurate and close is the anime to the game?
I'd say it's probably the closest I've ever seen from a video game.
There you go.
Keeping in the style of the art, obviously.
I know Joe loves Berserk and was wondering if he's into the manga. They have collector's deluxe editions that look pretty cool. That would be a great addition to any fan's collection. Joseph?
I do have several. Raul got me some.
Mason's been picking those up.
Oh, that's right.
They look great. The black cover with the red metallic.
Yeah, that's the one Mason's been picking up those here.
And then I got the sword
book
end, so it just keeps getting longer. with the way it's supposed to.
Right.
And of
That's
course,
what she said.
you know, I love Berserk. I have Skull Knight coming. I also I don't read that as it comes out. I read a few chapters at a time because like one chapter at a time it just gets me frustrated. It's like edging. Edge running. I don't get to complete.
That's right.
He says HBO Max, are they streaming Rome? If they are, and if you guys haven't watched it, it's a great show. They are streaming Rome. And yeah, I watched it. Unfortunately, it got cut short, so it's like
Because the guy died or got cancer. Was that the one?
no, I don't know.
was
I don't
one
know.
of those shows
I
around
thought
that time.
I thought it just because it didn't perform well, but I did enjoy it. I could be wrong about that. That was an assumption on my part. She-Hulk, what would it take to actually save this show? I mean, the premise seems okay enough. It's just the awful writing. They tease with the Daredevil suit, but yeah, any thoughts on how they can salvage this? No.
Have her sleep with Daredevil. That'll fix it.
No,
Because
just
that's what happened.
scrap it. It sucks. There's no saving it at this point. There's one episode left, you know? Like, it's
But it exists now. So
a mess. 5, as you guys discussed...
What if she wakes up from a coma? in episode 6.
Oh, that would work.
And she walks in and Bruce is in the
that would
shower.
work. That would work.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's why she'll be talking to
That's such a
nobody
weird
because
dream.
she's dreaming.
I'm on board.
And she never was a She-Hulk. She just hanging out with Bruce.
Yeah. As you guys discussed a couple episodes back, if you had that Bezos money, what would you guys like to make? Movies, series, lore, horrors, what would it be?
Berserk, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I know what my answer is, obviously, but go ahead.
I mean, I'll just say, since it's topical, the Cyberpunk movie.
So,
with Keanu Reeves, even though you don't need faces. Well, I want him anyway.
That's fair.
as we all know, fantasy's super hot right now.
Sure.
We got Lord of the Rings popping off. We got Game of Thrones popping off. So now it's time for a live action full length feature film, Flight of Dragon.
Make it happen, Captain.
Live
Make it happen.
action.
But what if the dragons look like the dragons of Lord of the, in Game of Thrones?
No, not okay.
No, he
the long
wants
necks.
the goofy dragons.
Because I want the goofy
You want the
dragons.
goofy dragons?
But I also want Disney to make it because they own James Earl Jones' voice, and he can be the voice of Omadon.
You don't need voices either. You should make him-
AI,
It wasn't
have AI
it
do it
wasn't
all.
Dragon animated. Well, it's not live action, right? Pete and Dragon or some shit like that. Wasn't that a?
They did a live
that's
action.
Peach and
They did-
Giant Peach.
They did a live action Peach Dragon.
James had the peach. Pete's had the dragon. Pete's
Okay,
dragon.
so I was right. Pete had a dragon.
Pete, dragon.
There's
Pete.
there,
Puff the man bet. That was about smoking weed.
so there isn't really an animated Peach Dragon, to be fair. Like the first one was like the Roger Rabbit deal, where it was like the cartoon dragon in the real world.
Yeah.
And then they did a live action Peach Dragon
Yes.
also. That was pretty good.
Okay, so that's what we're talking about. Something along that line.
Yeah, dude. But a little bit like, dude, just literal translation, shot for shot.
Or you can. Well, yeah, because you don't have what's his face either, but you have his voice. Maybe.
Maybe
I don't know. Someone has a right.
You can expand the lore a bit, but keep the structure the same.
Do you want the Asian guys to still look super Asian-y?
Yes.
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 True to the Lord.
Of course. Of course.
I want him.
Of course.
What do you call an ogre? Ain't no rules. What you call an ogre? Hey you. Hey you, come on out here and fight. That shit's one of my favorite lines of all time.
I mean, if you want a literal translation, you can just take the original audio and then just film around it.
yes, dude, I'm with it. And then 6, pray. You had to pray just to make it today. Appreciate the dedication to the nerddom. Thank you sincerely. And it's pray, P-R-E-Y, of course.
Of course it is.
And that. Oh, we got one more in just by the lick of.
Just now?
Yep. What the
Wow.
fuck is good, Nerd Ragers? So Joe K. Dubs was saying he never pre-orders model kits, and it kind of shows how much he's gotten out of the hobby. In the last year, Gunpla has become pretty hard to get with new releases because everything has been P Bandai drop after P Bandai drop.
I don't count that though. That's supposedly exclusive, but we have P Bandai USA now. It's not like back in the day when you have to get P Bandai from fucking Japan.
There was a master grade shortage in Japan, and we're feeling the effects with Bandai banning sales from Japanese storefronts
Yes.
online.
There's a lot of that going on too.
If-
I think it's because of
It feels like aside from the RG God Gundam being released, everything else is this fucking English?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
For RG God Gundam being released, everything else has been P Bandai. For the Nerd Rage Extended Universe, who doesn't fuck with Bandai like that, P Bandai offers a direct consumer structure, and with that,
Exclusives.
retailers get screwed, and hobby stores aren't being given the option to sell P Bandai products in store.
Hold.
I
Is
mean,
that
I
the
was-
same as an e-hobby exclusive, or is that different?
That's different.
I don't know.
But I mean, I was telling you before. Remember, we were talking about like regular team members shouldn't be released as exclusive,
Right.
And this is part of it. Like P Bandai start selling like Saint Seiya stuff, like mainline Saint Seiya stuff, only as exclusive through their shop, and I started having a problem with that. But the difference with Gunpla, as far as I know, is that because they make all Gunplas in Japan in the Gunpla factory with, I think, 32 machines. Okay. There's 32 machines they run sprues through. They produce so they're only producing certain. They have a huge catalog, right. So they're only producing certain things at a time. If you're gonna have a new release, I'm assuming they're dedicating a lot of those machines to the new kit.
Probably.
So like I've been looking for a high grade Gundam Love Phantom for a hot minute for Krista, and it's been 2 years. I can't get it.
Well, you just said it out loud to the Nerd Rage universe.
Yeah, I mean, you can get it for like way over retail, and I'm not going to pay way over retail for it.
Are you going to try to find that on your next trip to Japan?
That, or whenever it I'm sure it's going to come back into rotation at some point.
He says if you miss pre-orders, the price for the kit you want gets driven up to a minimum of $20. I facilitate a group specifically for the reselling of PBandai products, and we have made it a rule that you can call out scalpers and they cannot get mad at you. We do that so people can point out the ridiculousness of greed in our hobby. While I do understand it's yours and you can sell it for what you like, people are already exhausting what disposable income they already have, and I don't agree with the shadiness. eBay reselling is a whole nother monster. Anyway, this has been my rant on plastic crack addiction. Here's something to change the vibe. What would be the one piece of media that you would go full simp for, Bobby? We know yours is Shitstorm. No, mine is Flight of Dragons. Thanks for fire content and good vibes. Drink some water, stay cool, spell table. Yeah, I mean, dude, like I said, like
oh shit. Speaking of spell table, what day is today? Oh shit, I'm gonna have to go to the card store later. The 40k Commander decks came out today.
Oh,
finally.
But yeah, I mean, Flight of Dragons is really my big go-to right now. It's like the one thing that I don't have accounted for other than that picture. I would love some dragons and some wizards.
Hey man,
dragons.
Yeah. If there's a lot of you out there, man.
I know.
Just get the Kickstarter going,
dude. Let's do it. Ramen toys.
Do a petition. We don't need
a stinking license.
And that is it. I have an empty inbox, which is awesome.
Wow.
Hey, if you want to send questions in,
I'm glad you said that.
You can email us at nerdrageradiomail@gmail.com.
Shout out to everybody that makes podcasts and listens to this, and shout out everybody who doesn't make podcasts and listens to this. You're part of the cool table as far as I'm concerned. And in addition to that, shout out to everybody behind the scenes on the Nerd Rage team. We have Dante on Facebook. We have a week ago.
I'm wearing a shirt right now.
Yeah. And a week ago, my episode with So You Like Horror probably came out. And shout out to Raul on Instagram. Shout out to Ricky Tiki Timmer on the videos. And shout out to Phil on our notes and on Twitter. And
he's on Twitter.
He certainly is. And he just recently added a cosplayer by the name of @Darshell, IRL, DARSHELLELEIRL.
EIEIO.
Yeah. So she's cosplaying as some sort of bat creature.
Okay.
Like it's basically like a dominatrix looking suit with bat wings and bat ears. And he responds with driving all the fanboys batty.
Oh, that one's just cheesy, Phil.
I mean, when is it not? Hello?
And with that,
Flappy labias.
Tasty taint.
tight dick player.